time it is, buddy?
Fever time.
Yeah, man!
Fire.
Everything that you carry, any luggage you take, all the ghosts you keep in hiding, they don't scare me away. No, 'cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. There's a past that keeps on calling, or if fear keeps you awake. I won't let a scar keep me from your lips. I catch every tear from your face. 'Cause I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you, with you. I can't stop falling in love with you. I won't stop falling in love with you. I can't stop falling in love with you.
Come on, Mark.
Uh-oh.
It'll draw him in, like a moth to flame.
I am less afraid.
This is for the best.
Let me adjust the microphone for you. Doctor. How's that?
Have a nice night.
Well? Oh, what? Now we dance.
Oh, no.
It's not for you. It's for them.
But I have to go.
Now we dance.
What is it you've got running all through your veins? Well, I'm here to tell you, you've got the fever, and it's hard to tame. What is your passion? And baby, I'll tell you what my pleasure be. Well, it's fever for the showing, Be it horror, thrills, or fantasy, they give us fever with some sci-fi. Baby, we're burning till we supernova all night long. Keep it coming, we love a good mystery. In the day you can feel it, during the night so hot it'll bring you to your knees. Well, it's fever for the showing, be it horror, thrills, or fantasy. They give us fever with some sci-fi. Baby, we're burning till we supernova all night long.
And welcome everyone. Happy Friday to you all. We are here to discuss this awesome episode of Severance tonight. We are almost done with the season, episode 7. And we got what could have been a season finale episode, right guys? I mean, it was I
For
enjoyed
sure.
this episode.
Yep. I
think
agree.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm super excited to talk about this one. I mean, Severance has been pretty good so far, considering we're 2 seasons in. First season, you have to kind of get into, and then now they're really, season 2, they really started diving into the company and how far they're willing to go. And so I'm really looking forward to after this episode, what are they going to give us, right? It's spectacular.
Pretty much. Like, that was a banger of an episode. Like, we've gotten so many episodes that we've all sat here like that could have been a finale. That could have been a finale. Now I'm like, what the hell is the finale going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think I got it. I mean, my brain was hurting when it ended, kind of thing.
Just when it ended, that's the only time your brain hurt?
I mean, it didn't stop long enough to hurt until then, I think, because it was just racing. Like, what now? Okay, then she did this, and how many different people is she, and why is this doing this? And it was a lot of reveal in this episode, a ton.
Right? I mean, as Kiwi said, I was sad for Gemma. Really humanized her for us. Yes, we wanted to know what was up with Gemma. Well, we got all things Gemma this episode, and yeah, it was.
And what an actress! Holy shit!
I mean, everybody. I think we said it before, right? How much this is about the facial expressions and stuff. Cut that tension, and she broke fingers, and I don't blame her.
Yeah, I would have broke more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to dive into.
Talk about the creep in the sweater there.
Right?
Oh yeah. He's the doctor and just all kinds of things. Apparently.
Oh, did you feel anything that, like, when you were outside of one of the rooms? I was like, oh, you creep.
Yeah, he's totally mixing like other things into the work, it seems like.
Oh yeah. He goes way back with Gemma. Go back to fertility clinic.
Yeah, when they reeled her in, like that one.
We're gonna dive into it. First, let's see who we got hanging out with us tonight, because we're gonna get it. We're already starting to get into it, and it's a hell of an episode. So
yes.
Bring these screenshots up, but let's say hey to everybody first, and again, welcome everybody. Happy Friday, and if you are down my way, it's Happy Mardi Gras to everybody, because it is that time. And it's Mardi Gras weekend. Let the good times roll.
Get those moon pies.
I'm going tomorrow, Dana. We're gonna get as many as we can for you, and possibly for Dark Elf too. He was me and him are becoming closer friends. It's cool. I hope they're all happy on the team after tonight's meeting.
Oh, you made the boys very happy.
Good. I'm glad I could lead the way, though I'm not the leader.
We're not real close friends. We're just moon pie friends.
Yes, no, maybe. I don't know how to take it. Either way, welcome, Dark Elf, and you were first in the chat, and we are always glad to have you hanging with us. And we got Vic, one of our awesome mods. Glad to see you. Lots of love. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good Friday. We got Miss Kiwi Skirt hanging out. Welcome. Another one of our awesome mods in the chat. Hope you're having a good Saturday, I believe, she's
Yes.
working. She's mowing the grass, so don't work too hard. And lots of love to you. Oh, she's in the future, everybody.
Yes. And it's summer for her, I think, or it's warm for her.
Right? Like, yeah, it's not just a time difference. It's a whole seasonal difference. She's
right. She's in a whole other world, people.
I know, so we gotta watch out, man. She'll get you. She's already knows you're coming before you get here because she's in the future.
Don't mess with her.
Right. What's up, Fletcher? Glad to see you hanging out. Yes, this was an episode, the best of the show yet. Yeah, the build up and then to give us this, I cannot wait to see what they do for the ending. What do we got? 2 more episodes, or do we get 10? I'm trying to remember because we're doing Yellow Jackets as well, and then Mayfair. Mayfair throws me off because Mayfair has what, 8?
Yeah, I think Severance has 10.
Yeah, I think Severance is 10. I think Severance and Yellow Jackets are 10.
Okay, so we still got a few more episodes to go, which makes it even more crazy because where are they going to take it?
Yes.
See who else we got. Jen the teacher.
Oh, Hangman says 9. Huh.
Is it 9 on this one? That's what I'm saying.
I get it
I meant to
confused.
write that down. I'm sorry, folks. We
Yeah,
semi-professional here.
Sorry.
90% of the time.
Wait, Kiwi says 10. Now I'm completely confused. Just as that's pretty much normal, Dana.
We need that like newscasting. Beep, beep, beep. Special report.
There's a lot of things
Special
that
report.
we need, Dana. There's a lot.
Add it to the list.
Right.
Add it to the list.
I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to bring up these screenshots.
Google says 10.
Well, we got at least 2 more episodes, 2 to 3 more episodes to go. If
3.
I did my math
should
right.
have 3 more episodes.
Good.
Which again is crazy because like what they gonna do? What they gonna do?
Right?
Yes.
Where do we start? I mean, the episode it starts off letting us know about their backstory. I mean, we get everything before Lumen and through Lumen. And even, I mean, again, trying to see what the world is like. I'm trying to date it. They still don't give us much in the way of technology. I know this would be maybe the 90s, early 2000s.
I don't know, but all I know is that blood drive was being done by Lumen. So,
because I mean, how many years was this that passed between where we are and this? I'm just throwing it out there. What do you think, James?
I'm not really sure that what time frame it is exactly. I mean, we saw a date like on his license and stuff when he puts it in the drawer and some dates like that. I don't know how far back this goes. It seemed like she's only been dead for like 4 years or something. It seems like that was said maybe somewhere.
Okay, and then this was before they got married and they tried to have kids. So, yeah. I was trying to figure out if they were going to give us any kind of like dates or where they were at exactly. But it seems as though they were in college together. Like me and Dana Dana was telling me maybe college professors.
yeah, I think she teaches Russian lit or something like that.
Yep, and he was history, so they met at college, at the blood drive, and I thought they laid it out really well. It was just a bunch of flashes, but it really told the story well, I thought, as far as their past.
See, Jen, the teacher says, this says IDBM. I don't know why the D and the B mess me up when I try to read that, but it always throws me off. It says 10 episodes. And Hangman Fletcher says 10th one is named Cold Harbor. Oh, whoa. Do they complete it by the 10th? Oh, okay, did we get to like end the season with the whatever this shit is to save the world? And is Mark's life in danger?
The completion of Cold Harbor. She'll walk in the room and the door will close, and it's the end of the season.
I know. And then if they complete Cold Harbor, is Mark's life in danger? Because dude at the end didn't seem like he wanted her to be with Mark.
I don't think that Mark's life is in danger because if the goal is completing because there was more rooms than what we saw. The rooms she was just entering were rooms that people have completed. And Mark wasn't the only, like, other people completed rooms. So, like, I don't know. I just think for some reason Cold Harbor has significance. The significance, I'm not sure. But it seems like every time somebody completes one of those files and gets to 100, one of those rooms opens.
Yeah, and I don't think Mark's in danger. I think Gemma is.
Yes.
Well, you don't think he's going to try to kill Mark? Mark's still going to be safe no matter what? Because I'm thinking, like, after, not like MDR completes Cold Harbor, but she goes through, like, whatever it is, she's got to go through the room. And she completes whatever test it is that they're running to her tempers and these situations, which is, again, a weird, I don't know. It still hasn't fully sunk in why these particular things are, like, happening.
Right. It's still a mystery, I think.
Well, it almost seems to me like they're trying to create some twisted utopia. That's what it seems like. To where they're taking out anything that would be painful, traumatic, sad. They're trying to take out those emotions and almost have like a euphoric, like, so think of it like this. Your Audi is always just happy. All the bad stuff is what these innies kind of deal with. So it's almost to me like they're trying to create some weird friggin' like happy people society. Like you could just turn all that off if you get this chip planted in your brain.
Happy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that's what it seems like. I think that's what they mean by saving the world. Like you're taking out all pain, sadness, grief, all the stuff that, is hard for people to deal with, and the Audi just gets to be happy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I took it. But again, I'm still a little.
So if you're on a plane and it's about to crash, who flips the switch? Who flips the switch?
You probably flip the switch before you get on the plane.
Yeah,
okay,
because
the whole plane ride.
It was weird the way they show each one of these sort of transitions that she goes through, and it showed it a few times how she kind of transitions over right here, and then she's kind of just conscious in the like it's a weird severed, like it shows severed in a much more in-depth way.
It means
she's severed like a friggin' pizza pie.
Yeah, a lot of personalities. That would suck. And the dentist thing got me because I hate the dentist myself. It's like,
oh my God, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I might actually do that.
Really? Every time I walk out the door of the dentist, I walk right back in.
Right. Welcome, Apex Comics, and it's the dude. Welcome, guys. And Miss Debbie, welcome, hun. Always a pleasure. Yeah, Apex at this point, poor Gemma is pretty much a pizza pie. They have severed her selves into each one of these weird rooms that she ends up going into.
But then I'm thinking to myself, like, how much could your brain take of that? Like, how many times can you, like, cut and cut and cut until your brain just can't handle it?
Well,
is that what they're also trying to see?
Yeah, because at one point, and they weren't talking about Gemma per se. I think it was, what's his name, Mr. Drummond. He was talking
Yes.
about, is the severed program still holding, when he was talking to these people in here.
Yeah, and I took that as because of how many times she was severed.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like, they're doing a lot of creepy stuff here.
Yeah, I think he said the barriers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he said it plural or singular, but so that would be the barriers between all her different personalities in those rooms, I guess.
See. Jen says, could the chips connect parts of the brain we can't use yet, like astral projection, that airplane? I mean, the way they're doing all this, anything is possible. The airplane was weird and it was kind of funny all at the same time. Let me go back. Where was that? That was the ways through. He just was kind of like, it's okay, no worries. We're got to get your meal.
But why Gemma? Like, there still has to be something special about her. And I'm thinking they've maybe found something in her DNA or something to that extent. Because there's so many people in the world. You could have picked anybody. Why Gemma?
Well, they also sent her those cards and stuff, and she did probably. I think that insinuated she did a bunch of tests, and she just came out like that's the one. It might have been her blood, but it might have been also a combination of.
They did all those.
Yeah, she scored high on the tempers test or whatever.
So when they go in, and it's for Mark and Gemma, the way they portray their relationship going throughout the episode, from kind of their first meeting through the relationship kind of developing, and then tragically her losing their first baby, and then they go to a clinic, and we talk about Lumen before and how far it reaches. Well, she's going to just a fertility clinic. And it ends up being, of course, run by Lumen. I mean, that's you sign over, and they gonna do. And then she even says it later, right? Like, I think I must have got put on a questionnaire or one of those, whatever, and then she gets to do all the little tests. And then Mark got mad at her, and he was. What was it hurting for her to do this? But then again, now it is for Lumen, maybe. It's creepy.
Look at the paper. It says something like, do the entire survey to be entered to win something a week for life. And that, it's almost like what she ended up being. She's stuck inside something for
their
life.
5,000 weekly prize.
Yeah, the one part they ask her about drowning or suffocating, and for some reason that led me to believe in the end she is going to die down there in the last room.
Oh, yeah, that's brutal.
I'm more worried about Gemma than I am for Mark.
But maybe not. Drummond said, you can't. What did he say?
Keep her.
Keep
but
her.
That doesn't mean that he won't kill. That means he has to kill her. But then why has he got to be an asshole about the Mark thing and tell her, like, Mark's got a wife and kid and done moved on and shit?
That was fucked up.
That's what made me think, well, maybe he's going to keep her or something. He's going to kill Mark.
Right.
Because she tried to get out, and he's going to she whacked the shit out of him with that chair.
Yeah, she did. Go,
But
Gemma.
he doesn't mind, though, because she broke some fingers before, too, and he still loves her.
Oh, he loves her.
They should cook a pizza in this episode. Debbie says, heartbreaking episode. I didn't absorb so much the first time. Yeah, I watched it almost I watched it 2 times. The third, one of the middle times wasn't a full watch. I was getting screenshots, and then I watched it again after. And it was heartbreaking. Let's see what else you guys are saying. What's up, EJ Wicks? Glad you're hanging out. I hope you're having a good Friday. And Gemma needed, what? After this episode, we may all need a pizza, some comfort food. It was heartbreaking. And they, again, what are they doing? And the creepy rooms. And now we know what Optics might be up to, right? this stuff was in optics along with the doctor's creepy dental work stuff.
Yes.
See, welcome everybody. What's up, Ty? Welcome. See what else we got. I'm sorry, I'm reading through chat. You guys feel free to talk about anything you want to. About
I honestly think that they're going to really promote this as a take away your pain type of thing. Because all these situations seem to be situations that anybody who would have to face would be traumatized by them. Even something as small as the dentist. So we go back to the senator's wife who got severed just so she didn't have to go through or remember the pains of childbirth. But
yeah,
it's like if you
they even
if you
called back to
take
that
all
this
of that
episode,
away,
right? They called back to that. Mark's sister was asking about that to the doctor.
But the Christmas thing with Christmas cards, I mean,
That was mean.
is that like, oh, I got to go to families for Christmas again? Turn the chip on.
Oh God, it was so mean though. Like she had to do. Did it not it reminded me of Milchek? Like it was a punishment because he had to do all the paper clips, but she had to write it out, and then she didn't write it out. She said what grouter, and it was supposed to be degrouter. He's like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry, it'll be all right.
but again, look at like the downgrade of like technology. What's up with that? Like, why are we always seeing such weirdness with the tech? That's giving you the what time are they in?
I don't know. We still don't quite know.
Well, we know they're pretty far advanced with the hand scanners that finger pricks you and samples your blood instantly to be able to recognize you and open the door. I mean, why they have the lesser technology in the rooms and with the innies is definitely a question for sure.
Oh, and Vic says she told Mark she hates writing thank you notes. So it is like a punishment. It's like you're saying, Dana, and it's really to something that you would really not enjoy.
Right.
And they're severing that. But why particular? I guess for her it's particular things because don't they flash between this scene and there's a few scenes where it shows her and Mark, and she says something to Mark like I love you, and he doesn't reply, and she's like, excuse me or whatever, and the doctor guy does the same thing in this scene to her. Where he's like, I love you, and she's kind of like, no, or whatever, and then he gives her an ultimatum with his face. And she's like, I love you.
So weird. This
Yeah,
dude is so
definitely
fucking weird.
But
Yeah, we are watching Severance, or we are discussing Severance season 2.
But we didn't see her have any good times in any of the rooms, right?
No, nothing seemed to be good, so to speak.
I mean, I tried to divide it up like, woe, malice, frolic, and stuff, but it didn't seem to fit. Like, I don't know, I was having trouble. Like, what's this one? What's this one?
Welcome, Kate. Hope you're having a good evening. And
Hi,
yeah,
Kate.
I think the doctor at one point says something to her like after you come out of the room, how did you feel? Did you feel whoa or like you went through the tempers? And then she kind of cuts him off and gets ask him some other questions. So it is, I don't know which ones correlate with the tempers or how they're like why particular number of rooms. Is it just 7 rooms altogether with Cold Harbor?
That hallway looked like there was a lot more than 7 rooms.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of file names. So I figure there's a room for every file name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there would be a
And the
bunch.
only way a room gets unlocked is when one of the people who are mining gets to 100.
And she didn't say how many. She just said she went to 6 that one day.
Yeah. Yeah, and the shot, it showed like Mark said at one point the data that they get comes from a floor above them, and it comes to them, and they refine it, and it goes on down a floor. And so we saw that in this episode. It went into the screen and down through the floor, following the wires. And
Yeah.
it went to those 4 lookalikes.
I'm trying to get to that.
But we don't know exactly what they're doing now.
Yep, there's the wires. Because it showed them upstairs, and then you're right, it kind of does, I don't know, it shows wires, and then there's our dudes. And they were watching the whole time. Creepy.
This also now convinces me more that they just basically have watch over everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's crazy. I don't know. It seemed like it was maybe the flow of time in the same timeline, but the dude, when he went to get the cart with the dental stuff on it and he was whistling that tune, he was still whistling the tune and pushing that cart when he came into the dentist office. So I'm thinking, is that just a fluid, as far as the timeline goes, that might line up.
It did seem like it, or at least I guess he goes up to optics to get the items for that day's work, whatever they need. So this day was dental work.
Yep.
And it was pretty brutal. Like, she
Dental
seemed
work.
like she was, and it didn't seem like just because dental work was mean, though. She was like, God damn. Like, do we have to do it again? Like, it's bad enough that, okay, it's dental work and it's painful and all that, but she's like having to do this constantly. Yeah. And like that self of her remembers it, but then as soon as she steps out the door, she doesn't remember but as soon as her consciousness comes back, she's like, how many days has it been? It was like, I was just here. Like, it wasn't. And then even after the last one for Christmas, she's like, but Christmas comes, it's always Christmas.
Yeah, to that any of herself.
That part of herself. Yeah. See, Jen, the teacher says, like, the clothes could be with the age, like childlike with dentist, newlyweds with Christmas, just businesswoman on plane. Could be. And Cass says, this really is like slavery. It's what they're doing to Jimba. And we still don't know how they completely got her. Like, they say there's a car wreck, but we don't know how far they, like, because she signed some stuff and was doing those tests. So I wonder if she signed over.
That's why they tell you to read the fine print.
Like,
she probably had no idea what the fuck she was signing, and she basically signed herself over without even fucking knowing it.
Right. She didn't know what she was getting into.
Yep. And they just snatched her ass up and pulled a Stranger Things with Mark and like switched bodies, put body. Because didn't they say she was like burnt or like really she was something like that, to where how those bodies are the hardest to identify. So they could have put anything in front of Mark.
See, I don't know. I got to go back and rewatch that because I don't know how much we really know about what happened to her or what they said. Because I thought she was pregnant at the time, but she wasn't. Or was she? Because they showed something like it, but it looked as if they weren't doing so well. And then the next kind of flash is her, or not her, but Mark getting the police at the door.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Lumen went as far as to do something with her pregnancy too.
Well, of course they did. She was part of the fertility clinic, but it seemed as if they showed this stick, but she looked sad as if she didn't get pregnant. And Mark was like destroying the crib. I'm sorry. It's not funny, but Mark was having a hard time with that crib.
Yeah, I don't think, as far as unless Lumen was doing something fishy.
I don't think she had a baby.
Yeah, when she left and did the I love you thing is when she had the wreck, and then the cops came and told him, hey, your wife had a wreck and died.
Mm-hmm.
And when he woke up, I think he was, I don't know if fully integrated would be the right word, but I think he's almost fully integrated when he woke up on the couch at the end.
Yeah. Because the way the doctor was talking about is like when he wakes up, he's going through the forgot how she phrased it, but his walk or something. And then when he'll wake up when he's ready, like the way he looked at his sister, and then remembered his wife and stuff. It was as if part of him was the Annie was remembering what the Outie knew. If that made sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, good. So I was on point with it. All right, good. Because I was curious. I was like, how the hell do you phrase that?
I mean, I understood you. I think that's what I saw as well.
I says I went from watching Mark to be with Helly to feeling guilty as fuck for this episode. I feel bad for him, but his Annie don't really. Annie don't understand. I still give him a little. She almost made it to him though. Goddamn Milchek.
But
That
do you
was mean.
do you think she would have turned back into Gemma? Because she seems to be like Gemma when she's not one of her 12,000 other personalities on the floor. But once she got to Severed Floor, she's Miss Casey. Would she be Gemma if she kept going up the elevator?
I don't know. How does she get? I mean, that's got to be heartbreaking. Well, Gemma. All right, Gemma's going to be harder to talk about. She's got a lot of selves. So not where she goes through the doorways, but I guess her original Annie and Outie. Right? Is that correct? Original Outie is the one that's in the hallway. Her original Annie is the one that comes up to the Severed Floor. Right?
Supposedly.
Something like that.
As far as we could tell, yeah. Yeah, her Miss Casey we thought was her Annie. But Gemma seems to be down a floor until they take her and put her in a room, and you see the camera effect, of course, that tells you, hey, she just switched over to that room Annie. It's like a whole different Annie than the Annie that's Miss Casey. So the triggers are each door, once she goes in, triggers that part of the chip. And so when she went up the elevator, like usual, it triggered Miss Casey. So, the question then goes to, what if she got past Milchek? Like, even if Mark or somebody rescues her, who will she be when she goes up the next elevator?
Would she be her Outie self again?
I don't know.
I would think she would be her Outie self because she's past the Severed Floor, which is just like everybody else. So that Severed Floor is the Severed Floor. When you go above it, you're not severed. You go just below it, you're not severed. Where she was in that hallway, she had to go into those particular rooms to be super severed.
Super severed. Another piece of pie?
Something like that. Hey, let me get the chat real quick because you guys are talking up a storm in there, and I do not want to forget about you guys. Jen, the teacher, says, I think Hold Harbor will be her miscarriage or death. Ooh, that moment, that moments of despair need to be wiped. It has been working in her because she is stone cold and only shows emotion for Mark and escaping. Ooh. Because if it was something, because that miscarriage, the way she was in the shower and that dread that she felt, they showed it seemingly like when she kind of like almost thought she escaped and she kind of crept down. It wasn't a shower at that time. It was the nurse, and she fit. I don't like that nurse lady. I don't like her. I don't know how you guys feel.
No, if she understands what she's doing, I don't know. It seems to be the cult or the philosophy of cure, whatever. A lot of people were drinking the Kool-Aid, so maybe she's not severed, and she's just really into it. Right.
Because we do know that some of these people, like Miss Cobell, the way the doctor talked about Miss Cobell is that these are like foot soldiers. Like they've been through this. And we kind of talked about that on the last stream a little bit.
Right.
So
she's a soldier.
If you guys hear anything in the background, it is Friday night and family is about.
It's a
But
soldier.
we got a question from Miss Vic. Do you think Gemma is the only person that has gone through this? Ooh, good question. What do you guys think, Dana, James?
It doesn't seem like she's the only one.
I wouldn't. I would say no. I maybe think that Gemma maybe has gotten the furthest.
Right. She's the one that'll change the world, but they've probably been trying it for a while.
Yeah, like they
they've had those
finally
other
found
offices.
their. Yeah.
The other offices and stuff. The one got shut down because they never met quota. So they've been trying at other places, or at least I think with other people. And that's the importance of Cold Harbor and Gemma and Mark.
Or maybe Cold Harbor has something to do with like one of the worst type of emotions to see if being severed actually gets rid of it in the sense.
Right. Yeah. It may be the final test.
But there's still so many other files, so I don't know.
Yeah. They say in this one, though, the way they're talking about Cold Harbor, it's like this is the one that will make all the difference. So, and even didn't Gemma say the door that didn't have a name on it before has one now? The one I haven't been in?
Yeah, it was Cold Harbor. It didn't have a name, and then it did, because there's some doors that don't have names. So it could be like that whole downstairs area is for multiple people. Like this one's Gemma's turn, and she's the most special, and I'm sure they've probably done it with other people using the same way they got Gemma, through the fertility clinics and stuff like that, being on mailing list, and then being part of whatever those psychological tests were that they were sending out to everybody to take. No, we do that. I've heard about some things online too. You take the little test and it's a little stupid quiz, and what's your IQ, or what's this, or what's that? Do your eye test, and they got your data.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We did that for Evil, Dana. Remember we did the one for your hearing, and
Oh yeah, we actually did. Should we not have now?
I don't know. Well, to be fair, we didn't send anything yet. We just clicked on a link, but I guess that's the
but we listened to something. Did they? Oh my God! Did they put something in our brains? That's it, Scarlett. I'm not watching no more TV.
Right.
I'm done. That's it. It's a wrap. I retire.
And this is a good question too, Vic. Okay, so the whole story of Mark was drinking and driving story is horseshit, right? Like, because we were talking about that earlier, like we thought she was pregnant when the car crash happened. I didn't remember how it happened, but it seemed as if she wasn't pregnant necessarily at the time, and that Mark wasn't with her. I don't even know if he saw the body.
I say horse crap.
Right? Me too.
It's bullshit. Now I feel like I got to go back to season 1 and like, did Mark Audi or Mark Any tell us that story? I mean, I'm assuming the Audi, but I don't. Why would he lie about all that? Why is there a lie here, or what, did we just make shit up? I don't know. That happens sometimes on these shows.
It sure does. You mean like thinking we saw Javi in the cave talking to somebody? Just
Look,
like...
if somebody can find that in Yellow Jackets where Javi's in the cave, let us know. Give us the episode, the season, and the timestamp, because I looked for that for hours, and it was not there.
No, sometimes I guess we can't trust our own brains.
Right?
Oh, we definitely can't.
Well, it's just too many TV shows in real life. You know what? Things happen. That's why we sometimes like to do recaps and go back and look at things, because you just never know. Kiwi says, we don't even know that there was a car accident, only know that cops turned up and we tell him about a car crash. Are the cops with Luma 2? I assume they are. Yeah, for sure.
Well, if you remember, I don't know if Kiwi knows about those letters. The lady in that letter that you could read said, I can't go to the cops because they got the cops is working for Lumen. So
Yep.
I'm going to say that's a big possibility.
Yep. Foul play the whole way. Like, you know, the wreck was assimilated or not assimilated, constructed, put together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was taken.
Just to snatch her up, right?
Yeah, I thought she maybe showed up because she thought she won something or did good on the test and like, hey, show up here and take this one more or something. But it does seem like they set up the whole, like, faked her death. They had to fake her death, not just she just disappear.
Mm-hmm. See, Jen says, Mark says he identifies the body in season 2, and she correct herself, episode 2. Season 2, episode 2. So he did see the body. So somewhere after that point. So we don't know if it's like a bad, like how bad the car wreck is. It could just be a normal. But then what did they do? Did they like, did they put her in one of those severed things where she's in like a coma? And he doesn't know the difference? And he just assumes she's dead? I don't know. I'm so confused.
Well, we do know that there are drugs out there that you can take. We've seen them on multiple shows that basically put you in a state where you're almost dead, but you're not dead. But to all like the tests and all the doctors and all that stuff, it's like you have no pulse. It's like you have no heartbeat. So there are drugs out there that could put you in that state.
Yeah. So, the movies tell us that anyway.
Right? We've seen that on Supernatural.
Yeah, it's been in a bunch of stuff. Seems like it's plausible. But the way it played out, though, they crashed her car and said she burned up, and they found some other body that's all burned or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like, and fooled Mark.
Yeah, because he thought she was dead. Family thought, his sister, they thought she wasn't no more.
In the story.
Well, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. But if you say the body was burnt or something like that, they could have used any body and put it in front of Mark. He wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. Because if it's burnt or something, you wouldn't be able to see a tattoo. Or they could say, "Oh, we got the dental records." He really wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Just needed to be a similar shape, body shape.
Pretty much. And they got dentists. They got dentists on the books.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they got everybody on the books. This dude here is creepy as hell. Ty Briggs says, "Was I the only one who laughed when Frolic, the tattoo man, what was his name, Mr. Drummond?
Drummond, yeah.
Said the nosebleed caused the delay in Cold Harbor. I think they don't know Ellie and Mark shared vessels in the office." Fair enough. That's what
So
they're
do you
calling it.
do you guys think they could tell that Mark is reintegrating?
I think they're going to probably be telling very soon. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how, because was it the weekend? Because he was kind of passed out for a little bit. Did he have to call into work? I'm hoping it was the weekend. Otherwise, they might come by. And then did she actually ever call Miss Cobell?
I don't think so. I think he woke up before she. I think she was thinking about it, but he woke up and she stopped.
Because I was curious if we was going to get Miss Cobell at the end. As I was watching, I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to come back in at the end of the episode.
Hopefully the doctor comes back and helps him, like, here's how you can get Jenna out, but you got to follow my instructions.
Yeah, because she seemed like she was like, I'm out for now. Don't call her, and I'll come back. Think he's going to be okay for now. I'll come check on him in a couple of days.
Well, she said that Miss Cobell, she's like, that's a soldier. She is Lumen through and through. And so Miss Wong or whatever the little creepy girl's name is, that's probably exactly what she is. She is a Lumen little puppet soldier pet.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, she did not appreciate her doing the phone call. She was like, "I'm out. Bye. Peace. Have a good one. It's your choice, not mine."
So, do you guys think that with Mark being reintegrated, if he goes in the elevator, does that mean he's no longer going to be able to be severed?
Right. He should, if he's reintegrated, he'll know both sides. He'll be awake both sides and know when he goes back up the elevator what he just did down there. And he'll know what he just did from up above when he's down on the floor.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Kiwi says, "Do you think that Gemma knows what they did and that Mark believes she's dead? I'm assuming so since he said Mark moved on." Let's see. I think Gemma knows what they. I don't know. Gemma doesn't seem to know what's going on. She still seems to have hope that Mark's still alive, but Mark may. I don't know if he's. I don't think they're. I don't know. They both seem like they're still ready to go back to each other.
How long did the doctor say it was? And the reason, like, it's been so long. He's already moved on and remarried.
Yeah, he's married with like a 1-year-old or something.
It seems like he said a time frame, and so she knows, or at least the Gemma part of her knows, she's been down there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's almost as bad, if you look at Mark, he's like drinking problem because he misses her, because you saw in this episode what a great relationship they had, and so he's just in terrible state because he loved her and he misses her, and she's down there when she's Gemma anyway, she knows about him still and misses him, so it's like hell and hell for both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Gemma knows anything about what's going on with Mark per se.
No, I mean, not since she's been down there, but she remembers him. That's the
she
thing.
Remembers him, and
like
she
I
still
thought,
is trying to get to him.
Like I say, the last 3 episodes, all my theories went off a cliff and crashed and shit and blew up. And,
Oh shit!
Fire. Because I thought, she maybe was in a coma, like she really did have the accident and she really was hurt. Maybe she didn't burn up, but she really was hurt. Maybe had brain damage, and that's why they took her. But now we're finding out none of that was true. They took her. They staged her death. They played those psychiatric games with her, with the cards and shit and the fertility stuff, and they took her. They took her. They kidnapped her.
Oh yeah, they straight up just snatched her.
Ty Briggs, this episode killed like 4 of my theories. Oh shit! I know this one was a hell of an episode, man.
This was the episode where theories went to die.
Yep.
Fletch says this episode killed basically every theory made by the fandom. Yeah, well, we basically have no idea what the fuck is going on.
That's why it's such a great show. It's like you just fooled everybody.
Yeah,
right, like we got you. We got all y'all. Haha.
Miss Wong severed or Cobell replacement. Any the making. Yeah, all of these characters, Miss Wong, Miss Cobell, all of them, like, I don't know how far some of these are actually severed or if they're just so indoctrinated that they're not. Miss Cobell we did see on the security room. So they could all be severed. Some may not be. I don't know. That's still a question.
They could still be indoctrinated and severed at the same time. So, like, their outies could still be, like, and I'm just calling them an outie just to separate the two personalities, but they just might not have to use their innie because these people, like Miss Cobell, like Miss Wong, like, the other dude, they're so loyal that they don't need to have their innie turned on because they're just loyal in general.
Yeah, that's why they want the soldiers, so that they can be awake on both sides of the coin.
This Ty Briggs says, I think reintegrated Mark will be his any self, but he will be able to recall outie mark memories mixed in with his own. That sounds like that. That's about right. Because the way he came back is as if he was like his innie, remembering the outie stuff. See, Vic says, you think the food they give them has stuff in it to mess with their brain or emotions? I mean, that food was that Gemma had. God, the hits on Gemma, they just kept coming. Where was it? They gave her some weird little lumen puck. And you boil them, bon appetit, put a flour on it. The hell? Her
Ew,
whole
rendered
existence down
marrow.
here. It was, yeah, what was it? Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, that's from the goats.
Oh, speaking
Oh,
of it, we see
James.
the goats.
Oh.
We see the goats again. Where was it? Is it the beginning? Oh my God, where they were measuring her and weighing her and hang on, I'm gonna find it. Where'd it go? Is it this one? No, I'll find it before the night's over with. There's an image somewhere in here where they're like testing her eyesight and shit. Then I go, where the fuck is it at? It has the goats on there next to like the eye chart. I just can't remember where in the episode that was at. It was a crazy episode. A lot of different
So what
things.
was your favorite part? Do you have a favorite moment?
I don't know yet. There's too many.
What
to
about the
pick from.
chat? What was your favorite moment this episode? Or what was the most interesting thing that we found out?
Why are you wearing that stupid sweater? Drummond, I think, at least as far as the funny parts, he had the
There it
two
is.
funniest parts.
Here's I found it. Thank you, Vic. You rock star. You helped me out there.
Yeah, I don't think I even noticed that. Probably.
I know. I remember as we were talking, I was like, "What?" I took an image of it so I could remember it. I still forgot it, but thank you for helping me, Vic, on where it was in my fucking images because I couldn't remember where in the episode. Yeah, I don't know what. So E is one goat. Line E is one goat. Then that's that goat that way. Is P. I don't understand what the fuck this means.
Well, the goats, you would just like
I know
they
you're
would
just
say
looking at it, but
and point your finger which way it's the goat
facing.
or something.
That's still fucked up though.
Yeah.
So the goat facing upside down sideways with its feet over its head and one horn down to the left.
The left one is for people, the right one's for the goats.
Who in the hell uses this chart with the goats?
They bring the little goats in and say, read the chart.
Or back to the theory where it's the goats that's consciousness are being implanted. The right side is for the innies because they're goat people. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm honestly just like I said, there was so much in this episode. I'm trying to remember as we're going through it. We're definitely going to have to do another sort of recap between, some of the first season and what's going on now after this episode, and really absorb it. Maybe even get another stream in sometime next week before the next episode because it was a lot to compare and like little things. I don't know what the hell these things are. Did
anybody get the vibe that the dentist doctor guy is Drummond's brother?
Something. I thought he came I thought he was one of the Kier dudes to begin with, and then I rewatched it and I was like, okay, well maybe he's something with the family, or he's just another one of these drone dudes.
I don't know. He just seemed like a member of the family, like if not a member, someone like a Bert or a Milchek, where they're just, or a Cobell, they're a soldier, true soldier.
That's what I'm saying. Like I went back and forth between family and soldier because I wasn't sure.
Well, he said to her, when this is all over, you're going to have to give her up. And he was basically like, yeah, I know. Did they do the whole like pre-cure thing?
Vic,
So
they
yeah, I
cut.
think he's a soldier.
Vic, they cut out. They give them a cut out goat and tell them to point at it like the chart. Yeah. Where'd my chart go? There's chart. Yep. Do a little cutout and use the little cutout to point the way that the goat is facing. It's fine. Very normal test to run when you go to the doctor's office. I feel like I need to take a picture of this, like, to the doctor and ask them, is this a normal chart that all doctors have in their office?
I've been to enough eye doctors to where I'm going to say no.
I mean, I may actually be called into question and go to a mental institution after that, but
But I do know by looking at the eye chart that is just a standard eye chart. I've read enough of them to be able to cheat and know that that's actually a standard eye chart.
And so what do the goats mean then?
Oh, I don't know. I've never seen. If I walked into a doctor's office and saw that shit hanging on the wall, I don't know if I'm going to actually stay. But I've in my many eye doctor visits and my many doctors that I've been to, I can say that I've never seen a goat eye chart.
And yeah, the doctor, dentist, flight attendant, Christmas husband. Yeah, he
Vic,
had the blue beacon eyes.
Vic said Debbie told her that they use charts similar to this for little kids who might not know letters.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay.
But what would they ask the little kid? Which way they're facing?
Yeah, because I have seen a chart where it was all E's, but they were flipped different ways, and they just said, point your finger the way the E is facing.
Okay.
Especially with some of these, I guess. Does that mean they have kids down there doing these programs?
That adds a new level of scary.
Well, we've seen they have Miss Wong, and she's not old. She's young enough to say that if she's indoctrinated at that age, they snagged her at a young age. So I would not put it past Lumen to having little kids.
Oh, that's so messed up, man.
They faked a school bus death.
That's so jacked up.
And took a whole bunch at one time.
Well, sadly enough, there are a lot of orphans in the world.
True.
That chart was trolling us, but it makes sense that it's for people who maybe can't read and they go by the direction as Jen is saying. So that's why we got the chat here, because I definitely know I'll go off on some wild ass fucking rabbit hole, and chat bring it back to reality. It's just a normal chart for people who haven't learned to read yet, like children.
Or we do know that the severed or the innies are childlike. So do they automatically know how to read?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like they recall things as long as it's nothing personal. They can recall things like maybe a story if it's not like a personal story, but it's basic movement, colors, shapes.
Yeah. It is weird what they could and couldn't as the seasons went along, but you remember when they wake up on the table, one thing they ask is, do you name one state, any state? So they do that, and if they can name a state, okay, that part's working. You should be able to name the states, but you shouldn't know this or this or this.
Remember, that's like a birth, right? Because remember when they were first doing Mark's, the start of his integration, I think she said, or one of them, I forget who it was, but they said something about what was your first memory. And he wakes up as like that's your first memory. Like we said that was like his rebirth. in this episode, I believe, and I cannot say it properly. So I have something to say it for us.
Oh shit.
Hang on. It has to do with that rebirth, I think, and death and stuff. And this is gonna.
Chikhai Bardo.
Oh yeah, yeah. The name is that the name of the episode?
That is the name of the episode. Chikhai Bardo. If I hear that a million times fast, Chikhai Bardo, I can hopefully remember by the end of the episode that we get through it. But that goes into the card that that Gemma was looking at, as well as what that means. I looked it up, and I put the full Wikipedia in the Discord, so go check out the Discord. If you have not already joined the Fever Discord, it should be pinned to the top of the chat. And I kind of took a few little screenshots. So we're talking about the 6 Bardos in Tibetan Buddhism, and ours, and it goes through some of them we can look at in a second, but ours is the 4th one. And the 4th Bardo begins when the dying process begins, specifically when the outer and inner signs precedes that the onset of death is nigh. God damn it, is nigh. I'm not a reader. Y'all are gonna really learn. This is why I don't like to read books. And then it feels like I'm in school again reading to the class. It makes it 20 times worse. All right,
what are you trying to read? The 4th Bardo begins when.
You got it. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Thank you for trying to read for me. I do love you.
Well, I put you on my TV so I could see.
I could scroll in.
And you made it nice and big so I could actually see that. I could see that, Scarlett.
If you want to read, you can read.
No, I'm just saying, you made it to where I could see, Scarlett.
I know.
You got me excited.
So I
can see that, Scarlett.
I can scroll in more. How big would you like the words to be?
You just got me all excited. I can see that, Scarlett.
I know. The Bardo continues through the dissolution or transmutation of the elements until the external internal breath has completed. This element dissolution. If I'm not reading it right, feel free to correct me.
Dissolution.
Dissolution.
Yes.
Thank you. Don't let me just say the wrong word. I'm fine with corrections. Lead to the state of consciousness known as the clear light of death. Those whom were experienced at
voluntarily.
I know I'm horrible at reading. God, this is embarrassing as hell. Sustaining the clear light consciousness during life are capable of retaining lucid awareness throughout the clear light, while others lose lucid awareness, blacking out. Meditation. Hang on, we go it down. Practitioners trained to retain lucidity during the clear light of death by practicing sustaining lucidity during the clear of light of sleep state. Access via lucid dream sleep. The recognition of the clear light of death leads to the state of Tukdom. Yeah, if you want this, I will post this. You read it at your own leisure. I butchered the fuck out of it.
You did good, Scarlett. Give yourself credit. Give yourself credit.
Yeah, I'm glad. I hope everybody did. I was laughing on the inside as well. Laughed so hard there was tears.
You did good.
No, there's a few words I should have known a little bit better, but man, that is some interesting what this show was kind of about.
Yeah, so they think that, like in the Buddhist belief, that you can meditate even after death, and that's what that tuktum is. So, yeah, definitely some weird stuff when you combine it with Severance.
Mm-hmm. It gives us it goes down to 6 of them. And then there was a little passage just below this. It has like another paragraph. And then this is like the second paragraph after it. And it kind of even starts to talk about, let me find, where was it? Explain the whole concept to distinguish 6 or more similar states. And we're talking about 6 or more similar states. Gemma we know of 6 or more similar states, covering the whole, I don't know why, but that popped out, covering the whole cycle of life, death, and rebirth. But it can also be interpreted as any transitional experience, any state that lies between 2 other states. Its original meaning, the experience of being between death and rebirth, is the prototype of the Bardo experience. While the 6 traditional Bardos show how the essential qualities of that experience are also present in other transitional periods, by refining, I don't know. Words be sticking out to me. By refining even further the understanding of the essence of Bardo, it can then be applied to every moment of existence. The present moment, the now, is a continual Bardo, always suspended between the past and the future. So they're using this as sort of a way to split people, like using those teachings?
Like Bardo, you can say, let's say, like when you're sick, when you're, or in meditation, or you're not living life like you should be. You're either sick, or like you're meditating. You're just kind of taking everything out of your mind. So if she's in the Bardo of dying, I mean, that just adds to she's got to die, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know, because it seemed like when they came back, when you're severed, it's almost like a death and rebirth. Is it not?
Right, but whatever state she's in, she may really die, I'm thinking.
I don't know.
Like in that next room, in the Cold Harbor room. See, all of my theories, though, like I say, it goes off a cliff. So that'll only last. That theory will only last till next episode, I'm sure.
Right? I mean, I'm sorry. We lost like 20 viewers with my reading. I apologize, guys. We're done reading. That's it. Hang on. We learned some things.
We're educational people.
We're done with class time now. We don't have to read no more. Vic says it is like an ego death. Could be. Especially talking about Kier and trying to kind of get rid of those tempers and things. Jen, the teacher says, could the Bardos correlate with the 7 deadly sins? I don't know. Maybe. This was a lot to take in for an episode and absorb. And then, I was looking this up before the episode, so I was like, well, we're going to share that and see what you guys think. Because that was interesting. I mean, they named it after the episode after it. So I was like, okay, well, there's got to be something to that. And then, of course, the whole story with Jim and Mark and all these different parallels they threw back and forth in the episode. It's a lot to take in. And they give us a lot, but they just still don't give us all the pieces. They give us a lot, though.
Yeah, it's more the, I don't think it's 7. Like that would be something different. States of consciousness. It's like the 6 states of consciousness if you're talking about the Buddhist side of things. So I think that does tie into what they're doing for sure.
Mm-hmm. Ty says, the more I think I know what's going on, the less I actually know. Yeah, pretty much. That hits it on the nail.
Yeah, they've done real well with that, with this show. Everything you thought you knew. And it's funny because Patricia Arquette, that plays Miss Cobell, she'll laugh at people asking her questions in interviews like, what? Ha ha. Like, she'll literally really laugh. Like, that is so far from the truth. I can't even believe you think that's a theory.
And she's such a good actress, you would never know. Right?
Exactly.
Like somebody probably already had it all. They're like, I told y'all. what was going on. Y'all didn't listen. You listened to that actress. She laughed at my theory, but it was right. I have no idea. I don't think I've had a right theory necessarily, but it's been an interesting ride.
Oh, for sure.
I have had no theories. I have only had questions.
There's still plenty of questions after this episode.
I can't even put together a theory for this show.
Again, how much are each of the departments that are on the severed floor working, like whatever they're working on directly relates to the floor Jim is on?
I would say just about everything. Just about everything.
What do you guys in the chat think? Let us know some more of your thoughts and theories.
But then my question is you have all these Lumen locations, right? They said there was one in Italy, there was one, like there's other locations, and that some of them sucked at getting to 100% of stuff. So, like, what if there were more rooms for her to go into? Like, is she just limited because these are the rooms that have become available to her? Like, if they got to 100 on more of these things, would there be more rooms available for her?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's because of the name of the episode and because of how many rooms that she entered in the episode. It seems like that relates somehow, maybe, of that 6 states of consciousness. And so if there's not a 7th state, she may only enter 6 rooms a day or something like that. I don't know.
I think when I watched it, I took it as there was only 6 rooms that were available. I knew there were more rooms, but it didn't seem like she had gone to any of them. But then there were rooms she did go into that didn't seem to have a name, or they didn't show a name. So I was confused. I'm gonna have to do another rewatch and pay attention to like the doors.
Wasn't it? It was the doctor guy that listed the rooms off there at one point and made her say that last one, Wellington, which is the dentist, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it was during all of this stuff too when they were going through. I gotta find the right screenshot. Not that one. This one. Oh god damn it! How do I turn it? There was a way to do this. Ha. All right, so this was Drainsville, and after they completed it, these were part of that. I don't know what any of that means. But while we're looking at that, Vic says, I wonder if the book Gemma was reading is the book Reckon wrote for Lumen. Oh, I know we're talking about later. Yeah, I'm going to star that comment. We can get back to that. What do you guys think about this? It's weird. I don't know if you can see it. It's got like Billings, Billingham, Loveland. These are the rooms that are down there, but they're attached. So this is all the rooms, all 12 of them.
Well, there's 24 rooms. You can see it. 23 is Wellington. I think that would
24. I'm sorry.
That would be the dentist guy, and it's the same guy in every room. So is he really a dentist?
So this is just okay. So yeah, when I was going through taking the screenshots, I didn't quite pay attention. But yeah, so this is all the rooms down there, all 24 of them. Because It's got Drainsville there too. I didn't quite completely pay attention to that. I'm not gonna lie. But, oh shit! So there's she been to almost all, but they don't have Cold Harbor on this one. This was all right. Let me see. I have another one. I think this is Cold Harbor. Let me flip it and see.
It's the same. It says Cold Harbor, but did it pop
It hasn't
up?
been added.
It's not on the.
So does that mean Cold Harbor would be like 25 after it gets completed? Because it wasn't completed yet. It was at like.
Maybe it's 25.
Right, 24 rooms. Is this guy's work? I know the doctor dude, or what is his name? Dr. Maury? Yeah, he's
So does
got a
that
lot
mean
of
they're
disguises.
going to attempt to sever a single person that many times? Because if it's different for each room, oh my, so that means somebody's gonna have 24 personalities up in their brain? That can't be
Well,
good.
there's 20. It'd be like 25, or in her case, when she gets all said and done with her original self, 26 plus the outside Audi, 27. The
Oh my
outside Audi, the
gosh.
inside out, or the innie that goes upstairs as the with marking them, and then 25 of these, right? 25, 6, that's 27 selves, right? Math on this.
It seems that way, yeah.
So
Well,
20 selves that they're just, yeah, it's kind of like not different personalities though, right? It's weird. I don't know how to truly explain that.
yeah, it's still her in each one, but she's an any in each situation.
So she's got 24 after Cold Harbor, 25, 26 innies, and one outie. That sounds weird. Don't know why, but that's just weird all around. I'm gonna make that big. You guys can see it better. Yeah, that's weird. See what else we got. Ty says it's like they're seeing how many pieces they can fragment her personality.
How is her brain not going to be Swiss cheese after all this?
I don't know. It's interesting though. I mean, that's a lot of rooms. And they was watching the hell out of Mark. And this was where they each had their own. It was like MDR part 2. Or I mean, yeah. Something. I mean, it's not security. They're monitoring. But it just was. So these are like people who are super indoctrinated, right? They seem like. And then they looked like their own. Were they not looking at their own?
Yeah, they looked like knockoff versions of the other people.
Right?
They are the Timu versions.
Something. This is holy shit. That's 26 personalities. Do all the innies have that capability? Well, I don't know. That's why I said poor Gemma, man. She's.
Or like I said, was there something special about Gemma that she had something within her that allowed this to happen?
Well, that's
to
why
be a
those
good
tests,
test subject.
I think, like James was saying, those tests that she took, that they sent her through, like the questionnaire or whatever, the mailing address. She was doing. It seemed like she was stressed out. Like James was saying, she did a few of those, and I imagine those were ways for them to. One of the ways for Lumen to vet for whatever's going on, because she went to their clinic and was taking the. I mean, what if they were keeping her from getting pregnant?
That's what I'm saying. I totally think they was fucking with her. Just like I wouldn't be shocked if they had something to do with her miscarriage.
Well, the miscarriage was before. She had the miscarriage and then she went to Lumen. I don't know if she had anything prior to that per se with Lumen, unless she was given the blood. I know they were given blood at like a donor blood drive, but I don't remember her having anything with Lumen like consumption per se.
No, you never know. Lumen has their little paws and everything.
And they do. I'm just saying, like, they didn't show. What they showed was to make sure that we saw the doctor when she was not able to have a kid and she needed to go do the fertility route. And that's where Lumen, I feel like, got a hold of her. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think like we were saying, it could have been a DNA. They tested her blood thing, but I think, and it might have been that a little bit, but the test and everything, I think they just said this is our best option to do whatever we're trying to do, and let's fake her death and get her.
Now, how they got her? Did they make her sign something where and she knowingly like went with them, or did they
I
like
don't.
prank her or something?
Yeah, I don't. I think they just took her because why would they fake her death? If they wanted to just get her to sign a piece of paper, then that would be a different. Seems like it'd be different. She doesn't seem like she went willingly because they faked her death.
Hmm.
Unless and again, my theories are crashing all around me. But I thought maybe she did, and she went and showed up for some appointment or something, and they took her. But
She
um,
seemed like she was okay to a
she was
degree.
she was leaving the house going to some event, and it happened. So I think they took her. Now that we've seen this episode, I don't. Yes, she was taking those tests. Yes, she was signing stuff, but they took her.
I think they took her, but I'm trying to figure out because they got her down there, and even if she didn't think she could get away, what did they do to get her to comply? They had to. To her, it seemed like she was going to get back to Mark, even the way the doctor was talking to her. Like, this is going to be. It's almost as if they convinced her that what she was doing was for the better. But it started cracking at some point, obviously, towards the end of the episode, where it showed her whacking him over the head. And he was an asshole with the whole Mark. That was bullshit, talking about, oh, he's done moved on with a wife and kid, which made me think he was referencing him and our girl, Helly, possibly having a baby.
Yes.
Would they know that?
Yeah. I mean, he totally could. I think he does know that, and that's probably. I'm wondering if Helena, on that point, I wonder if Helena, maybe they were going to let her go or something was going to be different at one point, but she fell in love with Mark and Helena did, and is like, okay, we just need to make sure she dies in that last room or something. She's never getting off that floor.
Yep. Dark Elf says they took the fetus, Miss Wog. And see, that's another one of the theories is Miss Wog, their baby. And I kind of, after this episode, even kind of makes me think more that she never had a baby to begin with. Like, she had the miscarriage, and then they still were trying, and they were like, third time's the charm, and he gave her the prick. But she still seemed distraught after. Like, it didn't seem like it was working.
Yeah, I don't think she was pregnant but when she had the wreck.
And Miss Wong is so old, plus she was in the schooling. I mean, I really think Miss Wong's another one of, like Miss Cobell, who's just been put through the system, and she's just indoctrinated. She drank the Kool-Aid, all the Kool-Aid, and then some. Welcome, Faith and Repentance. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday. Says hello, everyone. Hope everyone's innies and outies have a good day. Yes, indeed. And for Gemma, all 20. Well, right now she doesn't have Cold Harbor, so it's 24, 25 innies and one outie. That is.
No, 26 if you count Miss Casey.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
I did. Did I not count that one?
You did before, but that when you said it just then, you said 25. But I know you meant
right now
26.
she has 24 downstairs because we don't have Cold Harbor yet.
Right, I was counting Cold Harbor.
I was not counting Cold Harbor because technically she doesn't have that any
yet.
Yeah.
So
it's 25 with Miss upstairs.
Right. At this point, yeah.
And then the one outie. Yeah. Look, this is too many personalities to deal with.
It sure as hell is.
But I mean, I guess it is all her, and I do think it is. But I guess there's the possibility that she just goes in 6, even if it's 6 different ones at a time or something, and that does equal up. But maybe there's somebody else on the floor, and that's where some of the other people's files are going to. And the other rooms are for them or something.
Welcome, Spectre. Glad to see you hanging out. I know you're having a good Friday. Well, we spoke earlier. I hope you're having a good rest of your day. I know. Actually, I know y'all are. All you boys should be having a good day that are in the D&D club. What
Right?
am I talking about?
They just hit me up for stuff, so they should all be friggin' happy.
No, look, it's okay. We worked it out. Democracy or diplomacy, something.
No, it was Reasonable Scarlet, and I hate Reasonable Scarlet.
Like, I'm not happy with myself either, because that means I'm at less power. So, but it is what it is.
Reasonable Scarlet had to be reasonable.
I was trying to find something for.
And I didn't like it, James. I don't like Reasonable Scarlet.
Oh man, she comes out every now and then, huh?
Right? Because she made sense about something. And when she made sense about something, I had to go in and I had to be like, damn it, Scarlet, you made sense about something. And now I got to do something about it that I didn't want to do. And damn it. Don't be reasonable no more.
I did. Well, you know what? You called me in there. I got disrupted. My screenshot stuff I was doing. I had to come in there and be reasonable. I wasn't. I figured nobody was going to be happy. I wasn't happy. Dana wasn't happy. The boys ended up happy anyways. But it is what it is. Everybody got peace, and we can move on with our day. It was fine. And yes, Vic, he gave her a shot in the butt.
Yeah. They were a great couple. It seemed like, they had a really good relationship. They had a few ups and downs because of the infertility thing and, but that happens to a lot of couples and they seem like they would have got through it if the wreck hadn't happened.
Yes, they genuinely seemed like they were in love.
Mm-hmm. It was. Well, it was tragic watching through the episode from like their meeting to basically the car crash, right? That was a lot. And how they even get to see where are they at? It's back before she had the miscarriage, right? We get to see his sister and them have a nice little dinner. Look how young, and they was like climbing mountains and stuff.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought Rickon's a gecko? Like, what can
Wouldn't
that
it
do?
be?
What can he not
sorry,
do?
go ahead.
What can he not do?
I was going to say, would it not be some crazy fucking shit if we come to find out that he is like some deep state lumen person and he's been working with them the entire time and he is like some spy and only pretends to be this dumb, gullible, like person, and we're going to find out he might be somebody.
Mm-hmm. Right, because I mean he's
a plant.
He's been, we think he's something, and then now he turns out he's something else. Because the way he talked to his wife that one episode, I mean, he kind of backed off, but he was ready to sell that book. Apparently, he was climbing mountains. There's a lot to Rick. Rick and we didn't know about.
That'll be some crazy shit. We come to find out that he's, I don't know.
I was trying to find
Oh no, I don't trust him. There is something about him that I am just like, nobody is that pleasant. Like nobody is that pleasant and nice and like there's just something. There's something about him.
Vic, is this the book you're talking about? I know she was reading this book, and then she had some books on a bookshelf where he grabbed them, and he was like, she says, I wonder if the book Gemma was reading is the book Rickon wrote for Lumen, because she did have some books, but did he finish writing it, or were they still working on it? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much time passed between that moment and wherever we're at.
Right? Is she got some books to read upon. I can't see what they say. But she was given some reading material. See what else we got. Jen, the teacher says she asked how many rooms for that day. I wonder how many she does daily. And yeah, Oh yeah, she did 6 the one day, so it could be.
I mean, she doesn't go to the dentist every day, surely.
He said it was like 6 months.
Right. So she's got to maybe do other rooms in between, I guess.
Yeah, and there's 24 of them at this point. 25 when Cold Harbor's completed. So you would think she might be able to go to, on average, 4 to 6 a day.
Yeah, I don't know. They may do it 6 each time because of the name of the episode, and it correlates to that number 6. Maybe it's 6 every day.
I haven't seen it. Well, I haven't watched it yet. Not that I couldn't. I wanted to get through Severance, but I'm actually gonna watch
Yes,
that
Spectre. No
tonight.
spoilers. No spoilers,
please. I'm
Damn
honestly
it.
the only reason I didn't watch it is because I didn't want to get like messed up in the head between the two shows and be so excited, like, oh god, I got to do this, I got to do that. Speaking of which, she brought up Yellow Jackets. If you have not joined the Discord, please go join over there, guys. Because the other night we were doing a little road so far, looking back at Yellow Jackets and Severance and the seasons, and unfortunately Paramount didn't appreciate our clips that we were reviewing. So
No,
I
they
had
did
to.
not, bastards.
So if you weren't here live for it, unfortunately, I had to clip it out of the live stream. But you know, as always, go check out the Discord. You never know, you might find some things in there that are not on YouTube anymore. Oh, and I also put in the phone call, like a video phone for the what are we calling that phone call? The
Creepy as fuck.
Ozzy's ice cream parlor phone call. So the phone call is now in the Discord, so you can listen to it at your leisure and break it down and listen for the little tone, so we can make sure we fully decipher whatever that shit is about with Morse code. And I'm working on getting the one from season 2 done as well to put up in there for you guys. So we'll get it all together.
Yes.
Go check out the Discord, the Fever Discord. It's pinned to the top. Actually,
Yes.
wait. Kiwi.
Kiwi's dropping
I know
it.
Kiwi, Dana. One of you guys did it. I was looking at Kiwi, and for some reason, I called Kiwi you.
It's okay.
It happens.
I don't mind being called Kiwi.
I was way behind.
At least that means I'm awesome. If you did.
I mean, I do. Well, because you're both you were my angels, my fellow angels. So it happens.
But yeah, if you are a Yellow Jackets fan, go check out that clip where we're breaking down that past scene, because it made all 3 of us look at that scene completely different and think some different stuff and have some different thoughts. So go check it out if you're a Yellow Jackets fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the one where Lottie is telling Natalie about the death of Travis. So, and there's still. I went back today and was getting more. You know what? We finished this, and then maybe we might actually. Do you remember the deer scene in Yellow Jackets? I can't help myself. There was like fucking Lottie, and she sees some creepy ass fucking deer with like blood all over its horns, like it just got in a battle, and Lottie. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Yellow Jackets is really good too, and I cannot wait to dive into this week's episode.
Yes.
Let's see.
But since we love Vic so much, we are going to continue to talk about Severance.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Because we love Vic and we want to make Vic happy.
No, it ain't just Vic. I do love Severance. It is a good show. Because this is like a wild ass.
You don't like Yellow Jackets.
I know she's not the biggest fan of Yellow Jackets, but I do love Severance too. It is wild with both of the shows going on at the same time. It is hard to keep my brain like tracking properly between the two shows. And Vic says we didn't see Helena or Helly at all this episode. We did not. We did not get to see her. And Jen
I
says,
was honestly shocked that we got this much Gemma like backstory this episode because there's so much like this could have been another episode where like this could have been the finale. Like just leaving us off on this episode with all this information, like this totally could have been a season finale episode.
mm-hmm.
So I really have no idea what the finale is going to be. Like what else? We've had such big moments already that I don't know how you top that.
Well, they ended up with him waking up. And let's see, Jen, the teacher, says the book is called The Death of Devon Lechi by Tolstoy.
Tolstoy, and it's funny because he said, "Oh, let me guess the ending. He dies." And
right, and then whack,
wham with a chair.
If she knew she had to get that the black, clearance card. All management has black for their security clearance card. Like some of them had blue to get in and shit. Like, all right. Got to get the black card. That's the one that gets you in and out. Let's see. Okay, well, we're going to chat about in the Discord. You let me know later. We'll be in the Discord chatting.
The clip.
He wants to talk about Yellow Jackets.
That
He's
clip
itching.
you were talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's in there. Go look for it. It's in the Yellow Jackets channel. Check out the Yellow Jackets stuff in the Discord.
No, I get what all you guys are saying. Yeah, it wouldn't have been the greatest finale, but it was a big enough episode that it could have been. Yeah, it probably would have made people upset, but it's still. How many shows have we watched to where it was an episode like this that was the finale? So to give us such a big
especially
info dump,
like with him waking up seemingly like fully reintegrated and knowing what about Gemma, I could see them like making that a finale. Not that I would like you enjoy it, but yeah, it could definitely have been a finale episode, in my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, because
no, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah.
Another theory car that drove off and exploded is I thought it would be the finale. I thought, oh, we're going to finally go down the elevator right at the finale, or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to open up, the doors are going to open and fade to black.
Yeah. We're going to have to wait the whole season, but they give us a whole episode on that floor.
So it leaves us to what else is there if we're thinking for these last couple episodes that we would want to see from where we are. Because, I mean, honestly, the Gemma stuff in the elevator, I thought we was going to get it towards the end. Like, we might have gotten some other stuff with Helly and Miss Cobell. Miss Cobell with Milchek and all these other characters. And even maybe getting to see more of who's involved in the company. But I didn't think the elevator stuff was going to come on this episode. I mean, but I didn't really watch I didn't go check anything out for what each episode was going to be about. So I was kind of like, well, I wonder what were they going to give us? I really thought Miss Cobell was going to come back this episode.
Yeah.
And then she was going to catch Dr. Lady getting caught up with Mark or some shit. But that's not what happened. It was all really giving us pretty much the full backstory on Mark and Gemma.
Yeah, and it's sad to me because I thought we would maybe see this floor as the finale, that kind of thing, right? But now which I've been wrong most of the time, so maybe I'm wrong about this, but the new theory points me toward her death because what could be the finale? Cold Harbor, actually, Mark finishing Cold Harbor, but that actually is her death. Like he's writing her death sentence, more or less.
Oh, and he knows and like or sees something or finds out. Oh my God, that would break him. To just finally somewhat get her back to only be the one that kills her.
Yeah, that to lose her right at the last moment. That's what I'm saying. I hope that's not it, but damn, that would suck.
Oh yes, that would.
And we get a super chat from Vic for $4.99. Thank you so much, hun. And she says thank you for the Severance combo. Well, we're going to keep going because there's still more to talk about. And we're going to play a little something for you. Because we appreciate your $4.99 super chat. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. I'm talking while I get to the media clip. Like rambling. All right, here we go.
Welcome to the fever dream. Fever, you're on fire. Welcome to the burning desire. I said fever. Join the party. We're burning all through the night.
Yes, you're burning all through the night, and this conversation on Severance is going to burn all through the night. And thank you again, Vic, for the $4.99. And Ty says, I think we're going to get a Milchek flashback next episode. Ooh, and that was kind of going to be what I was going to say. Are we going to talk about Cold Harbor kind of being sort of the end goal finale? So that's episode, and with him maybe even seeing her death being the final, we get 2 episodes in between. What would we get between that?
I think we'll have a Miss Cobell episode, actually. I mean, it may not be her backstory. It may just be where she's at and some stuff she's doing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. 3 more episodes. Oh, it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, I would like to see something like I said, maybe something with Milchek, knowing a little bit about his background, even learning more about Miss Cobell, because she's part of the Severed program, but yet she's also a foot soldier. And is the doctor severed? But he's not severed, right?
I would say Drummond isn't, and the doctor isn't. But I don't know. Bert was. I don't know for what reason, though, because he seemed to have been with Lumen a long time.
But maybe he chose to be?
Yeah, after a certain point. And maybe their story is true. It's because of church, and one side's of him's going to burn in hell, and the other side's going to go to heaven.
Well, similar to how Helly was severed in order for some of the, like, she doesn't have to be severed, but they did it for a particular reason. So maybe like Bert had to be severed in a particular reason to be placed where he needed to be.
Right.
Or like you said with the whole church thing, if Bert really was some kind of, let's just call him assassin type, and had a lot of shady shit in his past, and you promise someone like that heaven or a piece of them going to heaven, that could have been what got him on board. That's why I'm saying that scares me the most. The fact that they have some kind of religion or church kind of embedded in this, because people they'll put their faith into it.
Mm-hmm.
And those type of people who we've seen wars over religion.
Mm-hmm.
How many wars have been fought in the name of a god? People will literally go to war for this. And that's horrifying.
And there's another creepy goat. I mean, he's not creepy, but they keep popping up, so it's creepy. I don't know what to make of it. I still don't know what to make of the goat. Again, I mean, we know what the goat is in terms of, I guess, the tempers, but it's just interesting that it's just plastered all over the damn place. See what else we got. Jen says, do you all think that Mark's reintegration will fuck up completing Cold Harbor and buy Gemma's lifetime so she can be rescued? Well, yeah, they seem like they're trying to get him to hurry, and his fuckery with reintegration is messing that up. So she might be able to survive. Maybe she does. Maybe she gets out in time and Mark sees her and is like, fuck you, Milchek. Because Mark's reintegrated now, right? So maybe she tries to go up the elevator again?
I don't know. She dies at the end of this season. Next season, Mark is going to join Irving and some others and burn this fucking place to the ground.
Yeah, like he did in
Yeah.
fucking, yeah. They showed that shit was so funny. I
They're
don't know,
gonna go to
man.
war with Lumen.
Let's see.
But I don't even know how
We
you would
got the
defeat them
chat.
at this point. Like, how would you? I,
Mm,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, there's
Again,
a lot of people that hate him. You know, the guy at the door factory. You could go get him on your side.
no, yeah, there seemed to be quite a divide between people who were okay with Severed and then people who were just said hell to the nah. Don't like it. Don't want you over here. Don't need you. Thank you.
But yeah, but Lumen's in
Hit you with the
everything.
good Lord split you.
Lumen's in everything. It would be hard.
Yeah, it would be sad, Vic. Yeah, I will be so sad if Mark finally sees Gemma only to lose her again.
So would anybody like quit watching, you think? At that point, like, oh, this is too much. I ain't watching anymore.
Well, they got another season coming, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
So how?
yeah.
So what was so when they complete whatever with her, and they say they got to let her go, but they seem like they were going to present her to the world as like the new beacon of hope or something.
Yeah. I got
Yeah,
that
like
vibe also, but
join Utopia.
So
yeah.
You can be happy.
That's why I was worried for Mark, because she's got to assume. That's why he was like emphasizing Mark's moved on, and they're trying to get her to like not worry about Mark, and that's why it was weird that they were doing. What was it? It was just weird that they did like the Christmas tree and stuff, and then it was
Right.
like showing their Christmas together, and
because look, think about it. I just don't think that's going to happen. Like, I got that vibe too, as far as you're going to be, you know, presented to the world. I thought that too at a point, but I mean, just think about it. She died in a car wreck and was presented to the husband as dead. And if they then say, oh, look, everybody, check out this chick that didn't really die. We faked her death and everything and took her, and she's been held hostage on our floor for like 3 or 4 years, but we've got this cool new product to tell you about.
Well, if Mark's out of the picture and they take care of the family, they can just play it off as if she did all that so she could do the thing. I don't know. Fuck. I still don't know. Okay, there's a way that Lumen can fudge shit. They're got the police in their shit.
True, but I just think that's
lawyer and the mayor and
why
the
she will,
attorney general.
She most likely might die.
They may have whatever version of leadership.
Or they got some button they could push that erases all this shit from her fucking memory, and she just basically comes out like a fucking robot and doesn't remember any of this shit.
Like, how do you explain it to the world, though? Because according to the world, because it's not just like her and Mark's sister, and they had like a funeral, I'm assuming. So how do you explain it to the world? So I get where you're coming from with that point, James. That I can't explain that one, but I feel like Lumen will find a way.
Yeah, that's why I think she's gonna die. You know, those
Yeah, that one definitely would. You might have to. But then, what was the whole purpose of this? I'm so confused. What did you got? They got the data, but then.
Right, the technology. They're doing it for the technology. If you go to the guys in the four, like the 4 lookalikes, and Drummond was standing there, he said, "Is the barriers holding?" And the guy said, "Yes, the technology," or maybe said yes, and then he said, "Good, the technology's working," or the other guy said it. So they're not. It's more about the technology that then they can probably use on other people, not actually the person.
Gotcha.
The person is the rat, per se.
That sucks.
Yeah, I think Gemma's screwed no matter what.
So did everybody else is good as long as they don't put the paper clips on backwards? You're safe as long as you're not on this floor.
Grow.
You did say that. Gemma is so shattered. How can she ever be normal again? That is true, Ty. I don't think reintegration may not work on her. I don't know if the doctors got that one on that down yet. She barely seemed like she got it down on Mark.
Yeah. I know that Gemma didn't know what happened once she went through the door. And then she came out of the door and she didn't know what just took place except her mouth was hurting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think when she opened the door to get the outfit, it's pre-done for her, of course. And I think she recognized it because when she opened that door, she's like, oh shit. She knew that's the one when I come out, my mouth's hurting and I feel weird.
She did. Trying to get the yeah. There it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to find it. I was listening.
She's like, shit. She's like,
I did too many screenshots, so I'm like, was that the beginning?
Oh,
I was trying to find it.
It's good to have a bunch. But it flashed between a bunch. We didn't know what was going on in a bunch of them. So, it would just flash and it showed that workout, like gym outfit, I guess. And it didn't show that room, but it showed the weird doctor dude in a coach's outfit.
Right. And then did it not? I don't even think the door had a name on it. Damn it. I took the clip of that. Look, there was a lot going on in some of these flashes.
Go back one frame.
No, that's what's showing.
Yeah, he's in his coach's outfit. He looks like that dude. He looks like Ben Stiller right there to me.
What is it? What is that Anchorman movie?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Oh,
He reminds you of that.
I know. And I was like, oh, he would, the one that's got the fucking, what was it? The bad colognes and shit.
Yeah, that's just creepy, man. I mean, what are they doing in that room?
I guess she doesn't like maybe tennis or something. I don't know what the fuck they were. She doesn't like to exercise. I don't know. I don't want to know. Because he was creepy and creeping on her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the creepiest thing.
And then this was it was sad because, we get to see the doctor here. No, there he is.
Yeah.
It's where it all started at the fertility clinic. Sign over your name, the Lumen logo there. And then this was interesting because it flashes to here. She's kind of thinking about stuff. And then we get a flash where is it Mark doing the clay tree?
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of weird flashy flashes, the elevator, and a lot of weird things I didn't quite completely fully interpret when I watched it the first time or so. I still kind of am like, okay, is this her or his shit? Because they went back and forth. I thought it was her memory at first, but then that's his hands.
Yeah, but she was sitting there, across from him, so that seems like it would be her memory.
And so is her Audi remembering her any stuff? Because this is when Mark did that in the, when she was, I got to write down her other Audi self when she was upstairs as the Dr. Wellness chick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not clear on what was happening with all those flashes like that. I've only watched through it once, so I'm going to have to watch it again.
And Vic says, do you think if they blank slate her, she'll be normal again? Yeah, I don't know if she could be, actually. I would say most of them maybe that were just normal severed, but with Gemma, I don't know. Ooh. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Drummond's only concerned about the technology. Indeed. Dark Elf says, but downstairs is the Audi. Almost she changed in the elevator on the way up. Yes, she's got like the first innie that goes up the elevator. Her Audi is, I guess, essentially in the hallway in her little like dorm room. And then when she goes to any other room, she's another out or any. It's so confusing. Why did they? It was already confusing with the innies and the outies, and now explaining stuff with Gemma is going to be even more. We got flight Gemma, workout Gemma. They turned Gemma into a Barbie, and she's like in all these different. That's fucked up. What do you guys think, Dana? Or James, what do you guys think?
I think Lumen sucks.
See what else you guys are saying. Dark Elf says he was seeing Little Shop of Horror grow for me. grow. See what else we got. Oh, and yes, Kiwi, have a good. Wait, it's afternoon, evening, or dinner time. Yes, have a good dinner. I'll catch up with you all on the next one. Have a great night. Yes, thank you for hanging out with us, Kiwi. Have a great Saturday night. Enjoy your dinner with your daughter.
Bye, Kiwi.
Bye, Kiwi.
Ty says, I feel so bad for Gemma. She's like the Sansa from Game of Thrones. Oh, she definitely not getting the better end of the deal here. Poor Gemma. Let's see what else you guys are saying. And Jen, the teacher, says, yes, Mark did the tree with Miss Casey. So yeah, that was interesting. Little, like I said, there was a lot of these little flashes in this episode that I'm gonna have to. So I got a few clips, and I want to break them down a little bit better. So like I said, maybe we'll do another stream real soon. Because I know there were some other things that maybe we could possibly compare from season 1. I want to go back and listen to the conversations about her death and see if maybe we misheard anything or there was more that we missed. Clarify a few things. And this, like I said, this dude here, man.
Creepy. Yeah,
Uber.
the Barbie metaphor works pretty good. I mean, even that song, the Barbie movie song, would almost fit Gemma right now.
Right? I mean, if you start thinking about it, she had a costume for every day, every scenario.
It's like, what was I made for?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Except it's like the nightmare version of, I guess, Barbie.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's not happy, sunshine, pink, and girl power. It's pain and...
It ain't all sunshine and roses, people.
Wasn't this interesting? The nurse had to go into this room or whatever. She had to put her hand on the platform and it took her blood. It took a little prick. I don't know why, but I was like, oh, I took a picture of it.
Yeah, that's a good, thing to show that there's some high technology outside of all the low technology.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So, because, again, we don't, I mean, they kind of tell us the time, we've talked about that before, of when this is kind of occurring, but the world itself, it doesn't seem to be kind of like, even though it could be around our time or even a few years or so in the future, it still seems strange, the technology.
Yeah, it's weird. The car thing almost made me think it's an some type of apocalyptic thing happened, and the only country left just had old cars or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Right?
don't know. It's pretty trippy, the whole thing. It's hard to put it all together.
Because I mean, it just. And it's stuff that, like, Lumen created so much little things in all these departments for this. So, yeah, they definitely invested highly into this couple. I took pictures of that too, just because it kind of popped up in their background a couple times. I got a better one where there it is. I don't know why, but I just was like, well, maybe somebody knows whatever the hell it is, and if it meant anything, I took a picture of it. It looked like it. There were soldiers, so I was like, well, we're gonna take a picture of it. And Gemma, she liked plants and outdoors. She was an outdoorsy kind of lady. She did not like ants.
Ants suck.
And Mark, I totally forgot. Mark gave her some ants, like kind of dopey.
That's
Dude,
the
he did not
worst
pay
gift ever.
attention. I love how he's like, oh, you said you like ants. No, I said I like plants. But thank you. I hate ants, but I love farms.
See, that's so unreal. If I give a girl ants and she said plants, she wouldn't like hug my neck and say I love farms.
It made him both giggle.
Take that shit back to Target and get me something better.
Right?
Oh,
That's
but
not realistic.
but it was the thought that counts. And I mean, he tried. He just didn't listen very well. And at this stage in my life, I understand that some guys, they never listen. And they're still very good guys, wonderful guys. It's just they don't always hear everything that us ladies say. Just like we don't always hear everything you say. It's the universe, how it works.
Yeah.
Because I swear, there's times where, guys will say, and I'm like, I know you didn't say that. Like, no, we said it. I'm like, that is not what I heard. That's fucked. And then I swear, Dark Elf doesn't listen either. We'll tell him things all the time. And he's like, you said that? I'm like, yeah, we had a whole conversation the other day. No, we didn't. Yeah, we did.
Yes, welcome to my world, Scarlett. I
But
literally say, I'm like, I literally said this. You know, you didn't.
Happens.
We had a whole fucking conversation. Like, what are you talking? No, we didn't.
But like I said, it happened. It goes both ways. As ladies, sometimes I don't know if it's a mental block or it's just it is what it is. But yeah, she got a little ants, and she still loved him. It's like, I'm not even here. Continue with your work. He was trying.
I guess so.
He was trying. Look, it was so cute. Look, they're so cute, Dana. Aww.
I despise ants. So you're talking to the wrong person.
I mean, I don't particularly like ants in my yard.
I hate them. When I tell you hate them,
and they don't get out of the container or whatever. And I mean, I didn't buy them. They're
oh my god! And then when there's a bunch of them, yeah, nope.
There wasn't a bunch. He didn't look like he had a whole bunch in there. It looked just like a little bit of ants.
Yep, nope. I'm good.
But they had a good relationship. I mean, seems like to me it was edited like real quick, sometimes almost too quick. Like what just happened, and like I say, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it. It was edited real fast, but it was still a good episode, and it really showed the relationship pretty good, I thought. Playing out all the different aspects of it through the fertility treatment stuff and.
No, we definitely
They
got
showed
a
a
lot of
lot of
info.
those flashes of her outside with nature, and then their kind of together relationship and stuff.
Yeah. And the four of them, it showed they really had a good relationship, the four of them, and how Rickon and the sister, knew Gemma really well.
Oh yeah, and they got to. She was like, "Oh, you're not drinking." She knew what it meant. And a lot of good facial expressions and acting in this episode. And this was tragic. Oh, again, like later, we see her having another tragic moment. Not as I don't know if it's say not as tragic as this moment, but she tries to get out that elevator and she realizes that she's not going nowhere.
Trapped.
Oh, that was sad because see, Mark was there. He was there. See, damn, Mark's a good guy. He cared.
Guess so.
Lumen just got in the way. And see, Ty says Mark looks skinnier in the flashbacks to me. Yeah, he did look a little skinnier. He's a little younger. Age sometimes makes weight come on faster if you're not careful. You can record all you want to. I know what I said, and I'm pretty sure I know what you said. I think. Then again, could be one of the things where, we just didn't hear you right either.
That might not work out in your favor. That might only prove us right. So really think about that. Debate that.
Vic says these scenes were beautifully shot, and they were. And again, I took some clips of them so that I can try to go in and slow down where they're doing like the really crazy flashes of Gemma and him and all that kind of stuff, so we can go over them a little bit better. What did I say while you was chowing down on it? Oh yeah, about when you're getting older and wait if you're not getting. Yep. Well, it happens. You just have to look. As long as you walk it off, it's fine, right?
Walk it off.
Just walk it off. It'll be all right.
You got to walk like 200 miles to walk it off, but I'm just kidding.
What's that off? I could
But
walk
look, Vic,
500
summer's right
miles.
around the corner, and we'll be sweating before long. You don't have to walk too far to eat a hamburger and a glass of sweet tea if you go outside in the South. Because you're going to sweat it off pretty quickly. You just go outside, walk down the street a little bit. The pavement alone is going to be radiating heat from below. The sun's radiating heat from above, and the wind is swirling around you because it's hot as well. And the humidity is like almost 100%, if not more, depending on where you're at. It's like you're dying. You don't have to worry about that cheeseburger then.
Gone in a few minutes.
That's right. You just
sweat it off.
Yep. And then that's when you go find like a pool or something to swim in, and there's more exercise. See? All about balance. But poor Gemma and all her new selves. I still found this one comical because dude just totally like hit his head and shit. I actually enjoyed that. He just tossed around in the airplane. Again, how I know this company's spending a lot of money, but my gosh, they spending money on these rooms. And did we think that when they went to the retreat, was it something like one of these rooms?
You never know.
What do you guys in the chat think? Was the retreat still outside, or James? Was it outside, or was it in one of these? What the fuck ever's going on rooms?
It was outside.
You don't think they have like a room on the severed floor or some shit?
Like I say, that theory car drove off the cliff and crashed and shit. I think it's outside, yeah.
I thought it was outside until I saw this shit. Now I'm like, well, maybe they did something like the goat room and this shit, and because they just like remember how you were saying how she was here and then she just wakes up on the airplane, and remember how Irving just wakes up in the middle of the ice?
Yeah, that's a different, state of the chip.
Right, but would they be outside truly, or would they be in a place like this, where it just you come to and you're just in the environment?
Yeah, that's would be a state of the chip to get them to that position, and then turn it on back to, hey, wake up. I mean, that's the way I see it. Just another theory, but you know how my theories go.
I don't know. I'm so confused. That's why I'm trying to suss it out a little bit, but I don't know, because when I think of Helly and how they almost drowned her, well, okay, then it's real, and they had the animal that was dead out there, but
Now that you bring up the Helly drowning thing and all the water reference and everything, that adds to my new theory that she's going to die. And she was afraid of drowning. She fears drowning more than suffocating.
But it seems like they want her to go through the drowning and come out alive and not feel sad or anything from it. It seems like the point of each one of those rooms is to go through it and then come out with no memory or no like temper dysfunction.
Yeah, bleed over. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know, because one part of me thinks, one theory is like maybe it's love, because she seems to have some bleed over. Like she told Mark, I enjoyed our sessions the most. And, he didn't really have bleed over until he started the sessions or whatever. But I don't think it's love, really. I think it's more, I don't know, company and product, and the people don't matter. They're just rats. And I don't know.
Vic says, I'm so conflicted about the Ortbo. I know, I am too. I accept all your theories. Yours too, James. I really have no idea, because this episode throws me off. Every time we get a new episode on one of these shows, I'm like, okay, well, that's not correct anymore. I don't know. Because they got a lot of room outside around the facility for them to go out in the little wilderness. Or it could be somewhere totally off, away from it. It made me think they had to be severed, which we know they could do the one thing that's outside the overtime. It is a mystery. I wonder if they'll ever really let us know where the Ortbo was. Maybe we'll get that in the next episode or something. One of these like things where Milchek is setting up shit. Because they had weird doppelgangers. And the TV. How the fuck did the TV pop up like that? My brain hurts now. That just makes no damn sense. They got to explain the Ortbo.
Yeah, maybe they will say something more about it to confirm it. Or at least in like the showrunner in an interview or something confirms it or something.
Give us another breadcrumb on what the hell that was about. Because we didn't get to finish the story time either. Right? Like, did we get another book about more tempers? Or does it like the next chapter give us the next temper? Like, we need to know. research purposes and curiosity. And they did, yeah. They had a whole waterfall and small mountain, and yet a TV appears out of nowhere, and weird doppelgangers are just popping off. And Milchek just comes around the corner like he's there, but he's not there. But it was,
Yeah, I think we might be looking a little too much
probably.
into it. But that, I don't know. Yeah, I think drowning and suffocating is the same thing. I mean, as far as what happens when you drown, you suffocate. Asphyxiation, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was interesting. They asked her that, like, yeah, it's like the same thing, sort of, but I guess.
But I guess if the gangster was there and he said, I'm going to put a pillow over your face or I'm going to toss you in the water, which one you want?
I don't know. They're kind of the same to me. I even thought that when they asked the question, I'm like, well, does it matter? And then she probably knows that if she said something like that, well, it all matters. So just answer quickly the question so we can rate how you feel in your response. Some weird psychology going on here.
Yeah.
Jen, the teacher, says it has to be like the plane, some type of room. The water is real, just like when Gemma grabbed the drink on the plane. Again, it could be a room, it could be outside, it could be VR for all. I don't know. It's weird.
If she goes into Cold Harbor and it's like a outdoorsy place, then yeah, we can maybe agree. But I don't know, the plane, as far as the plane, it could be a small set, type thing. So I'm still on the edge as far as it, clues in the show. Why I say I think it's outside is stuff people have said through the show leads me to believe, yeah, that was outside.
Yeah. I wonder too, because it seemed like they're using stuff from all their personal lives, especially with Gemma. I wonder if it was like the mountain that they saw with Mark's sister. She was showing off like they went on the side of a damn mountain climbing and shit. Maybe it's like the same area or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it could have been Keir State Park or Keir Park or.
Mm-hmm. And have a good night, Miss Kate. We love you.
National Forest.
I'll see you for coffee in the morning.
National Forest, maybe. Bye, Kate.
Yeah, it could be National Forest.
I think that's what they called it, Egan National Forest.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there was
what
a trap
don't
door
they
for
have
the
at
TV.
this point?
No, that's true. They could probably rig up a trap door for the TV. That is true.
What doesn't this company have?
Really? Vic says, I'll take the pillow. There you go. Yeah, I don't know though, because whichever is faster and less painful, if I had to pick.
Oh yeah, I'm staying home. I'm staying home that day.
Just no answer. None of the above. What's up, Billy Power Max? Hope you're having a good Friday night, hun.
Friday. Even though earlier today I didn't even realize it was Friday.
I know, right?
Friday.
I think every day, just about nowadays, we have to say, wait, what day is it? When we do it? Okay. You got to break the calendar out just about every day.
Pretty much.
But
Didn't even realize tomorrow was Saturday. So.
In optics, this was stuff that was in optics. So optics why does optics have it now? Were they always sending stuff out for these whatever sweepstakes?
Well, it seems like optics were making them, but they were for another department to do that, like, survey thing.
Mm-hmm.
So optics may not have even knew what they were for. We just have to make these cards. They need 12 of them. And Dylan stole one.
Yeah, I know. It caused a whole conundrum.
that's weird to me. Why, now that we know what they're for, why did it matter so much that he took one?
Maybe because they didn't want Mark to see it, but then they saw it anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. That still confuses me. And
Did it
even more
breach
so,
protocol? I mean, they're big on protocol, so maybe it just breached the protocol. Like, they're not supposed to have certain things, and Milchek didn't want to fuck up. You see what happens when you fuck up? You got to do the paperclip punishment. What happens if something happened with the car and it got outside? With Milchek, what would he have to do for penance? Because it was on his watch. Sort of.
Well, he got a bad performance review because of it. They sure as hell knew it happened on his watch. So he didn't hide nothing from them. He didn't prevent them from finding out. It was in his little binder of things you fucked up.
Yeah. Because I don't know if it was for a greater reason why Milchek had to get it back, or if it's just as simple as Milchek doesn't want to mess up. Like, he doesn't want a bad performance review, because that seemed that was painful to watch.
that could have been the reasoning behind him getting the card. Yeah.
You have too many of those, and they fucking fry your chip, and you die. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. He fucked up even then, because then they got access to the overtime contingency stuff and figured all that shit out.
Or they are all severed, and it's their innies that are permanent, and it's, Milchek doesn't want to go back to being his outie.
Maybe.
Well, they didn't, Cobell, they didn't switch her in any kind of way.
Which
that's
weird.
What maybe that's what it is. Like, even Miss Wong, maybe their innies are just permanently flipped.
Like, at a young age, they just became.
And Miss Cobell is just, her severed chip has just been turned on ever since their schooling.
It's possible. Yep.
Jen says, do you think Gemma lied when she said the one card was ego death? And I believe what was it, this one? Yeah, like it was she was saying, well, it's like the same person, and he's like taking out that self or something.
And could be what Kira did
to Dieter. Dieter was his self.
Yeah.
I know some of you guys in the chat, or I don't know if it was one of you guys on panel, were saying something like that before when that episode came out, that maybe Dieter was like his self, but was the severed kind of thing. Like what did it say when they saw their doppelganger selves? They called them their something will always be with you. Your twin self will always be with you. Or something like that. Your twin. It was just your twin, but it made it seem like maybe that twin wasn't just a twin. It was one of your egos, one of your tempers, or something. I don't know. It's a very, very confusing show. Not confusing, but very in depth with like the psychology.
Oh no, it's confusing.
Yeah,
it's confusing.
And very, very confusing.
I don't know whether it's smarter to be high or sober when you watch it. Because I don't know which way I'm going to absorb it better. Like, do I need to be sober so I can really focus? Or is being high going to make it that much easier to absorb? I haven't decided yet. I'm mostly high, so I don't know.
What's hard is, if this show was the only one on like this right now, and From's coming later, and then maybe Yellow Jackets was somewhere else, but Yellow Jackets is right now too, so it's like, oh man, my brain's hurting. Oh no,
I know.
the next show I watch, my brain's gonna hurt also.
We need an innie for Yellow Jackets and an outie for Severance.
Yeah, dude.
Right? Because that's why I chose not to watch the episode of Yellow Jackets yet, because I didn't want to muddy up my brain with all the excitement of the Yellow Jackets episode mixed in with this one, because this episode was really good. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to, even writing stuff down, I don't want to forget little, like there was little conversation things or just little moments. And I was like, I don't want to muddy it up too much yet.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yellow,
I'll wait.
I agree.
Yellow
This
Jackets
episode was
is the
even good
same
to
way.
me.
Yellow Jackets episode's the same way. It's just as good. Could be one of the better ones. And damn it, I'm Team Jeff. F everybody else because they are wackos. They are psychopaths.
Oh shit! It gets real. It gets real, real quick.
Shit, just nobody else. I mean, Jeff did some bad stuff, but he's actually the most sane by far.
You smoking that chronic? You smoking that chronic?
Poor guy. He's the most innocent guy. They just.
I mean, a little, what did he do? Manipulate or something? Hell.
Well, he did. He blackmailed.
Blackmail is nothing compared to what everybody else is doing.
Right?
Nothing.
I mean, he blackmailed his wife and her friends, and then his wife and her friends killed the guy that was blackmailing them.
Well, technically, he didn't send a postcard to his wife. He only sent a postcard to everybody else. She found out about the postcards from everybody else. She never got one.
That's true.
Yeah. But still, that's the lightest thing that's happened in that whole show.
It sure as hell is.
I'm Team Jeff. F everybody else. Anyway, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that.
If Jeff dies, we riot.
But yeah, Severance, man. It just this episode definitely was unexpected to me. Like, wow, what am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
I
know, because it even makes it more of a mystery as to what the end goal true. I mean, yeah, it's for the technology, but where are they going to end it all? Like, we end this season, but what are we going to get to do with it next season? Like, okay, if something happens to them, or is Cold Harbor truly the last one, or does she graduate to something else in the outside world, or then what happens to Mark? Like, what did he just continue doing a new someone like Gemma, or is that whole we get a whole new cast come next season? Because I can't believe that they would do that. So I'm like,
I know. That's why I think the only thing I can see is her dying, and then the rebellion, Irving, comes to pass. They try to burn it down.
Macro data refining rebellion or whatever.
Maybe. I mean, it'll be happening from the outside, though. Not the actual refiners necessarily.
And the doctor lady acted like too when she was talking and didn't want Miss Cobell to pop up. Like all what she was trying to do would be gone. Like she's been working against the company for a minute.
Yeah.
So she would probably be in on that.
So how many seasons do you think would you like to see this show go? Is this something you want to see go for a longer duration of seasons? Or do you think the story should be wrapped up in a 5 or 6 season type of series?
Yeah, I don't, as far as Vic's thing, I don't know. It's hard to say that we'll see any Irv again, but I thought there would just be maybe one more season, but it depends on where the story or how the story unfolds, how far they could take it, I guess.
Do you think a show like this could go like a 10-season type of show?
I don't see it.
Because that's not an easy thing. That's not an easy thing to do.
I don't know how many they've already given it. The 5. Way it's going. Okay.
No, I mean, I don't know if they've given them. I'm just saying it feels like 5 could be about the most.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 just because after this, they've already given us pretty much everything except for Cold Harbor and then in Miss Cobell and then the end game, seemingly.
Yeah, unless they pull the camera back from the town and show us a little more of the rest of the world, like, oh, it really was an apocalypse, and the story we showed you is just the intro to this much bigger story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jen says, I eat a gummy and ride it out.
My kind of girl.
There you go.
My kind of girl. Why couldn't I have a teacher like you?
Right.
Right.
Where were those teachers when I was in high school, or just growing up in general? You sound like a cool ass teacher.
My sister's a
You
teacher.
watch Severance. You take gummies. Like
Yeah.
you'd be awesome.
Yeah, my sister's a teacher and she's not that cool.
Right. Jen says, I think there are 3 planned seasons and it's renewed for the 3rd. Yeah, I didn't think past 4 because even with the rebellion, were they going to drag a rebellion out for a whole season? The way they kind of get to things, I wouldn't see it going past 4. This was The Price is Right. I'm going with 4. Bam. That's my number. Lauren says,
She says that's how I lesson plan. I really like her. I really like Jen.
hell yeah. What's up, Lauren? Says, I hope it wraps up and not dragged on. Yeah, and that's so far, that's what this show seems to do. It doesn't seem to kind of drag on. Like, it seems to give you pretty quickly what it needs to give you as it goes. Even, like, we'll go and get somewhere, and then it kind of gives you it'll go back an episode or two and give you what those characters, maybe we didn't see what they were doing behind the scenes or whatever. We'll get a little bit of that, and then it gets you right back into some more good, juicy, new bits to kind of chew on.
Would you guys like to see flashbacks of like how Lumen came to be, how like more on Kier? Would you enjoy episodes related to that?
Well, yeah, I definitely don't mind if they get into more about the Kier, the family, and that kind of stuff. And they could do that because, like I said, this next episode, because they're not going to give us, I would think they're not going to fully give us Cold Harbor until the end. So that gives another episode to kind of see what Milchek's been up to and to get Mark and the team back on course. I don't know, maybe they'll give them some kind of bullshit with Kier and propaganda this and woe that. I don't know. See what else we got. Go through some more of these images. But yeah, so I would definitely give this episode so far out of the season, it was the top episode, but I definitely give it like a good 8.5. What about you guys? If you could rate the episode, and you guys in the chat, where would you rate the episode?
It was up there for me. Like after I watched it, and even maybe during, I thought, I don't know if this is even a good episode. I'm like, what are they even showing me? My brain was working. But now that I've had a little bit of time to think about it, I think it was really good, especially with the lighting and the, some of the little stuff like that, the writing and production side of things.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I'm around an 8. I would definitely give it an 8 for sure.
But that's pretty good from Dana because I like, she does it always. Look, we don't always have the same taste, but she likes it. It's just sometimes confuses her.
Yes.
So I'd say giving it an 8 is pretty good from Miss Dana.
This episode was definitely easier, like an easy follow. Like I was definitely able to follow and understand what they were trying to like give us in the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So this was one of my favorite episodes definitely so far.
Same. And thank you, Miss Jen, she can be the new teacher of the channel. I'm perfectly fine with that. And thank you for the $2 super chat. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much, Gummy and YouTube Time. That's what's up. I wish I had some gummy cubes. God damn it. But you guys enjoy them for me. And we're going to give you some little something fun. Here we go.
Welcome to the fever dream. Fever, you're on fire. Welcome to the burning desire. I said fever. Join the party. We're burning all through the night.
And thank you again to the best teacher on this channel and on YouTube, Miss Jen, for the $2 super chat. We do very much appreciate you. And Vic gives the episode a 9. See what else? I only watched it once so far. From Ty says, so I can't even rate it till I watch it again. My head was spinning after the first watch. Yeah, it's definitely, it's an up there episode, and you've got to watch it a couple times. I've got about, I'd say 2.5 watches, because one of those watches I didn't really fully pay attention to, but it's a good episode for sure. Lauren says, I like how human they made Gemma and Mark, because we already root for Mark and Helly. Yeah, I know. And to see Gemma towards the end still like just calling for Mark and no, I don't believe you, Doctor, is heartbreaking. And then knowing how Helly, or not Helly, but her outie self is coming on and trying to get Mark, and that home wrecking bitch.
Oh, and now knowing everything we know about Gemma and like being able to have a baby and stuff, if Helly is actually pregnant, oh, oh.
I know the way the doctor said to Gemma, like, oh, he's already moved on. I'm like, I swear, if you're talking about Helly and him and that she's pregnant, y'all evil. I mean, you're already evil, but my gosh, just the layers.
It does seem that way, and I think Helena knows that Gemma isn't going to make it out of Cold Harbor, so she's like, I'm going to let my outie hit on Mark and fulfill my Annie's desires.
Or she makes sure Gemma doesn't make it out of it.
Yeah, that would be a twist and a even worse. These people are so evil. Does
because I'm still not fully convinced that Helly is. I don't know. I don't know if she's her any self right now. Because how do you trust her now? She already came in pretending to have that shit turned on, and she didn't. So what's stopping her from doing that shit again?
Right. Jen, the teacher, says I give it a 9 because of the cinematography and complete origin of the Gemma and Mark. Yes, it was so good. I definitely would agree with you on that. Vic says the scene gave me Stanley Kubrick vibes. Space Odyssey. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like Helly. Well, her outie. Is it? Because Helly or Annie is not the same as is it Helena? What was her outie name again?
Helena.
I really don't like Helena. Now, Helly, I kind of don't like. But I kind of feel, I don't know. You know what? I might have to let this episode settle and come back on our next stream when we talk about Severance, and I may be with you on that, Vic. I'm thinking about, look, it's processing, Vic. I'm coming around to your side. I see where you're coming from. It was still kind of fucked up what she did. But yeah, I guess regardless, that any self is still kind of like her outie self. That personality is still there. That little bit of that whatever the fuck is still there. Lauren says it's in her eyes. The actress does a great job of making each character different. Helly has this wide-eyed innocence. That is true. True, true.
I wonder, like, say, if a rebellion thing does happen. I know that's kind of a far-fetched theory, but if it did happen, that Helly R wins out her side or Mark's side, and they do the switch where Helly R is always turned on, and thus effectively killing Helena Egan, the last heir of the Egan family.
Well, any Helena knows that she's part of the company because when she was outside, she found out that she's, technically one of them. So I don't know. That's why I'm just like, I don't know if she could be trusted.
That's true. And then are they allowing her any self to do pretty much whatever with Mark because they don't want her any self to kill her to eliminate herself, her outie self, and hers. That would it kills herself, kill her outie self. Interesting show.
I'm telling you, and again, it may be a bad theory, but I think she's more than likely pregnant or going to get that way or is that way.
Yeah, they kind of make it like that with the intro, right?
Yeah, it ties to the intro too. Yep. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. If she's not, I'll be surprised.
Mm-hmm. I know, because then it's like, well, what is all the little babies and the baby Kier and baby Mark? What the hell is that all about? Is it just a troll?
Because that takes it. I know a lot of people think cloning, especially even when they see the babies in the intro and stuff, but they've kind of said that's not it. And, when there's a whole bunch of babies, I know this is weird, but go back to going on the theory that the intro is a timeline about the time they were in the outbro and in the tent and doing it, Mark and Helena. If you look in the timeline, that's when a whole bunch of little babies are crawling around. That's the sperm, right? There's a lot of sperm, but then,
oh my goodness!
But then by the end, it's just one. She has the baby. She has the baby.
Just one little one made it.
So that may be.
I love you, James. I swear I love you.
I know we got to jump forward 9 months, but that may be the finale of this season.
I'm never going to be able to look at that the same again. I'm going to see the babies. I'm going to be like, oh, it's a sperm.
Oh, gosh. He said it, not me. I didn't have to say it. James here to say it. And Vic says there's a lot of foreshadowing going on with babies.
I didn't know the alternate words to use.
I don't know. Little swimmers, I guess. I don't know.
The baby makers?
I don't think you can get in trouble for that word. It's what it is.
No, and at this point, Scarlett, I think we've said a lot worse.
I probably have.
There you go, Vic. Now that just sounds I can't say it that way. That word just sounds. That just sounds. I don't know. I can't say it. I can't. Because I'm gonna turn into the 7-year-old and I'm just gonna giggle.
I know, right?
I'm just gonna say it and I'm just gonna giggle like a little kid. Just reading it's making me giggle.
Oh my god! There you go.
Tadpoles.
Tadpoles? I don't know. She's
like, I like it. Tadpoles.
I am sorry. I am too immature for this. I am not mature enough for these words.
Not in that reference. There you go.
I'm just gonna giggle. I'm just gonna giggle like a little fucking.
Like, I'm not gonna say I don't think I'm with you on that. And now that we're talking about it in that reference, I can't. But tadpoles is okay. That was not too bad. But
That's still giggle material.
that's why I said like little swimmers. I don't know tadpoles. That's what they look like when you see them when they describe it in science class. It's educational. Hang on. Wait, we'll make really famous. See, she's already going and you have to play the clip.
See, Jen, we're educational. You have tuned into an educational channel.
About tadpoles and flashbulbs.
Okay, that's it.
Jen, the teacher says, so do you think the cold harbor has to do with the goats since it's the opening theme sequence ends with the goat pasture and Cobell? Oh, Cobell closed the book too. Yeah, what's up with the goats still too with the end game? They just threw that shit in there for us, and they keep trolling us with the goats everywhere because we like to talk about the goats so much.
So in the intro, if it's the timeline, you've got the cup with Irving's face on it, full of paper clips, and follow that, and he jumps off into the head of a goat, and the goat is like the person.
Okay. And I'll bring it up in just a minute because I got that from the other night.
But that ties into Dana's theory of they're using the goats, something about that as far as the severed process and the chip. So I don't know. I think the intro tells us a whole lot. We just can't see it and understand it yet.
When the season's actually over, we should go back to the intro and see if we could like actually line everything up.
Right.
Do like a timeline and say like, okay, we saw this in episode, 1. We saw this in episode 2 that fits, and see if we could actually fit everything with something in the actual episodes.
Yeah. We'll definitely do that.
That'll be fun.
Just say I got it pulled up if y'all. Let's see. We can watch through it. Why not? You can talk over it. It's fine. We just watch through. See the good visuals.
Right. Hopefully Apple's nicer than Paramount.
Well, so far they have been. And we thank Apple for allowing us to play
Yes.
this
So
last
thank you, Apple, for being nicer. Paramount, you suck.
I think it was MGM let people do From, and then they just they didn't at a certain point. They kind of stopped it, I think, though.
Look at all the babies. They're the babies.
Here goes paper clips. And here's where he turns
into a goat.
Yeah.
Or wait. Does maybe the goats don't have as much to do as we think, and that just is saying we're making sheeple. We're making sheeple with this Severance product.
Yeah, possibly.
See? He said, I don't know. It's peculiar.
See, the only one thing that kind of throws off is you saw Cobell's car in the water before it gets to this point, and so it's like we haven't seen that yet.
Was that Cobell's car or Gemma's?
Cobell's.
Oh, the nice little drink.
So I don't know. Some things line up, some things don't.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was hard to tell Gemma's car when I think it might have did it ever flash like the wrecked version of her car? Maybe. But
I don't.
that does look like a white rabbit, like Miss Cobell's car, though. That one there. I don't know though. We'll see. We'll
Oh,
see.
so Vic, you think it's Gemma's too? I was just wondering. Like I thought that would have been a reference more to Gemma than Miss Cobell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which one it is. I could see either. I'm trying to think because it does look like Miss Cobell's car, but the way they showed us now, knowing that Gemma was in the car wreck, it could be Gemma.
Not too sure.
Interesting. Vic says unpopular opinion. I think it's Gemma's, and then I could see it being either or. Cobell has a hatchback. Let's see. I'll have to remember when we, like I said, we can go back over this again. I guess I'll get a picture of Miss Cobell's car to compare it a little bit better. I don't have one offhand, so I'll be going through some files. Keep to find it real quick. Gemma Cold Harbor. The car is in a cold harbor. Good point. Good point. Jen says, I think it's Cobell's and she'll fake her death and go after James Egan or Milkshake. Ooh, Milkshake. Yeah, Milkshake. It's Milkshake.
Yeah, I could go either way, I guess. Like you said. But I like Gemma saying Cold Harbor. That's Cold Harbor. That could be signifying the car wreck thing, or Gemma.
Yeah, that's a good one, Vic. Because it said Cold Harbor, and it does look like Cold Harbor in a car crash. No, I mean, honestly, it's as way this show goes, it makes about as much sense as any of the other theories we threw out. Because, I mean, they kind of twist and turn it on you pretty quick. You don't have to
Pretty
wait
much.
around. Man, what a good episode, though. I'm pretty satisfied so far with the season.
Yeah, definitely
Yes.
one of the craziest shows out there. Crazy good, gaining in popularity.
Mm-hmm. So, poor Gemma. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. That was a pretty good episode, and we'll see where they take us. So we got 3 more to go. 8, 9, 10. Yep, 3 more to go. And again, we'll try to do another stream next week on Severance before the next episode comes out. I'm gonna try to get some of these clips from this episode, see what else I can get from the last season. And we'll do another one of, I guess it's kind of like the road so far part 2, because we didn't really get to cover as much as I wanted to on Severance, because honestly I was pretty headstrong on Yellow Jackets. So we do a better one for Severance, and then there's still so much to cover or go over with Yellow Jackets, and I know we're going to do a stream on this week's episode on Monday night, and then of course we're going to be working with James on some stuff coming up, so always go subscribe to his channel to check out all the new content. I know you've actually just been putting out stuff as well, even when I think you were on, I don't know, it wasn't vacation, but when you was hanging out with family and friends, he was still putting out content, folks. He's a busy man, so go check him out.
Yes. And I have to say, do zombies poop made me chuckle.
Zombie poop. Hey, Vic said
That
finish
that
playing
made me chuckle.
Finish playing the intro.
Oh, finish. Yes, I can finish playing it. I'm sorry. I gotta find the right buttons. Hang on, it's on this one. But why do we think they kind of showing our girl, Gemma and Helly before we wrap it up? good call finishing watching Vic. Because what
I think it's Mark's Annie was in love with Heliar, and Mark's Audi's in love with Gemma. And
she's not going down the elevator?
not. I don't think so. I think it's like if Mark was looking at that and his Annie and Audi's glitching back and forth, like in the tent and stuff like that, it would glitch, and he would see Helena and he'd see Gemma. And I think maybe if he does end up seeing Gemma again, he's still going to glitch maybe and see Heli. The opposite.
Oh, okay. My bad, Jed. Thank you for reminding us to finish it before we close it out. We're going to complete it. We're still not done, but yeah, that's something. That's a good call too, James. And there's the baby.
He's like, "Hey, Daddy."
Right? As his he definitely his Annie definitely made a baby, and the Audi was like peeking in or something like that.
Yeah, his Annie was coming out of his head.
That was
And
creepy.
he had the baby.
Yeah, and that's his little Egan baby.
That's so messed up. That company and family ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, they're all type of messed up.
I don't even know what to think.
I hope it doesn't turn into do you guys, the trolley problem? As far as, it's like a mind game kind of thing. If you're standing by a switch and you see a trolley coming out of control and it can't stop and it's heading towards 5 people, but you're at the switch, you could pull it, but it's going to kill 1. So how do you make that decision? Do you let it kill the 5 or do you pull the switch and let it kill the 1?
I found a third option. Look,
Right,
we
right.
encountered something like this during D&D. It's like, you say you kill 1 to save them all.
Right. So I hope this isn't something like that where we're hating the Lumen company so bad, but it gets to a point where the camera pulls back, like we're saying, and we see the rest of the world, and we realize they are actually saving the world.
Oh, that'll be an interesting twist.
Vic says pull the switch.
Damn, that was quick, Vic.
That was you quick with it.
I mean, you say 5, right?
Vic said, I know the answer.
I mean, I would hope that we would pull the switch, but I'm hoping there's a third option that nobody considered, and you just have to MacGyver the hell out of that situation.
Right. They always throw a kink in it and say, well, that after you say pull the switch, they'll say, well, what if that was your mom? That one person.
Just keep making it more complicated, James.
Well, I mean, they did it in Charm too. It was like if there's a burning house and you had to save, like, I don't know, 3 people or something, do you save family or friend or like random people? And the good answer is supposed to be you save the random people and not the family.
Vic said, sorry, Ma.
I mean, one would think the moral decision is to save the others or the many over oneself or the one, but can we save them all? Can that be an option? Where's the superhero?
Oh man, it's like
you know what? Call Batman.
Yeah, Captain Kirk. He's the one that doesn't.
Spider-Man, is he around?
Captain Kirk does not believe in no-win situations.
Right? Is Spider-Man around? He could web it up and it's fine. Nobody dies.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I hope it doesn't do that, that kind of thing. But it feels like
that's where you're going.
I don't know. It just makes you ask so many questions. Like, because after each episode, you're like, oh, I thought I maybe knew where this was going, but now it's going old. It's just flipped me on my head.
I know it is. It's quite a show. Look, even there, I forgot. It shows his little like self in the bottle of delicious whatever he's supposed to drink with the pieces in it that he has to chew.
His work self's in there, so he's reintegrating it with his work self.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be
That
crazy?
substance is so gross.
That'd just be crazy, man.
But no, I can't wait to see where this is gonna go.
I know. Again, we thank everyone for joining us tonight, and James, as always, for hanging out with us on panel, and all you guys in chat. You guys rock. Vic and Miss Jean, the teacher. Thank you guys for your super chats. And yeah, it was a good episode. We got, again, I think it was a good 8.5. A lot of you guys gave it a 9. Good episode. Can't wait for the next one.
Me with my lonely 8.
It's okay. It's fair rating from you, Dana. Honestly, I would say it's very fair rating. But again, thank you all, and we hope you have an awesome weekend. We'll be back Monday night for some Yellow Jackets. But until then, we hope you all have a happy and safe weekend. I'm sure we'll be around. You can always check us out in the Discord. You never know where we may end up. Kind of here, there, everywhere. But until then, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Paint me a scene, city in color, the way that you see, the way you see it. Don't you wish that I could give you, I could give you everything. 1, 2, 3, and my heart is racing. Can't fall asleep, I got my mind in a throw. Weightless, floating through the day. Trust that I'll be okay. I'm happy alone, but a little waiting for you. Wait until you realize. Waiting for you. Wait until you realize. If you wanna run ahead, I'll meet you where the water meets the earth we cling to. If you want